versus Falcons.
Welcome back to the main stage and welcome to the main event. Yes, it is time for the Rainbow Six Siege competition final here at Gamers8. One of these next two teams is going to take home the lion's share of $1.2 million and of course this incredible Gamers8 trophy. So, if you're at home or if you're in the Gamers8 arena, please put your hands together for your first competitor, BDS.
Hi, Comrade Kepler. What's up, Michi? We're like BDS too, but I mean, personally, I'm rooting Falcons. It's on Jay Blair. It's on Braden. It's on Gavin. Dude, this stage is ridiculous. That trophy is also nicer than the invite trophy.
فريق بي دي اس وصل للمسرح، وفريق بي دي اس لا ننسى انه هو الفريق الوحيد اللي قدر يوصل للبلاي اوفس وهو ما خسر ولا ماب من بدايه الجيم، ولكن خصمهم اعزائي المشاهدين والحضور كلنا نعرفهم، خصمهم هو الفريق اللي قدر ينتصر على بطل العالم في الجروب، وزياده على كذا قدر ينتصر على افضل فريقين في العالم في اوروبا وفي البرازيل. اعزائي المشاهدين والحضور رحبوا معنا فريق فالكونز.
Very much appreciate it. So this particular tournament is like, I think a total of, if I'm not mistaken, like 2 million, but it's like a $15 million tournament over the course of a bunch of different games. So yeah, it's 15 mil. Dude, look at the stage production and stuff. Like, this is literally nicer than Invite. I hope Falcons win. Dude. Darn Krusty.
Listen to the crowd, feel the energy, but do not buckle under the pressure. It's time to get this best of 5 underway. It is time to begin the final. So we're going to go back over to the desk so they can bring us into this final.
بيست اوف 5 ما بين فريق فالكونز وفريق بي دي اس، ولا ننسى ان الفريق الوحيد اللي قدر يهزم فالكونز هو نفسه فريق
بي دي اس.
هذه فرصتهم للانتصار، هذه فرصتهم ان يثبتون انفسهم، لكن بي دي اس هل بيقدر يسويها من جديد ولا لا؟ كلنا ما ندري، فعلى طول ما نطول عليكم اكثر من كذا، على الاستوديو التحليلي ونبدا معنا الجراند فاينلز الجيمرز 8 الرينبو 6 سيج.
Dude, this stage is ridiculous. Go BDS. I hope Falcons win, dude. Yeah, what's up, Mocha? Gun Cone.
Falcons are the first ever team from the Middle East to ever play in
What's on, Krusty?
and in general, not just in this tournament. It has never happened in all of these many years. And imagine the first tournament you go to, you play so well after a horrendous day one, you get to qualify very tight games until you hit the grand final. You beat the world champions in TSM. You beat MIBR, one of the best teams in Brazil. You beat Wild, that surprised everybody to go through here. The best team in Germany. Now you get to face off against BDS again in a best of 5 final, and your idols on the other side.
Predictions? Okay, we'll do predictions based on each map. Once the map is about to start, we will. We will do predictions. The major is not for like, what, 10 days or something, roughly?
Because it would be overwhelming for so many.
And all of that with your coach playing.
Exactly.
And not just your coach playing. I've been speaking to the man of talent, and the player that isn't here, they say, head and shoulders
Even
above.
better, yeah, P9.
head and shoulders above. So yeah, exciting. The first time that we're going to see MENA here, and I think they've done themselves incredibly proud. Everybody here is so happy with them. Even the other players in the other teams are like, well, if we weren't in the final, then we're happy for them to be there. So yeah, a chance here for revenge.
You took a break from R6, and now you can barely hit gold. Yeah, it just takes time to get back into it, that's all.
I traveled over to the venue here with 2 or 3 of the MENA talent today.
8 days, Slippery. It's not Venom.
And they said, will you be
it's Gamers8. Were they playing? Saudi Arabia.
I am happy whoever wins this, because for Falcons, it's such a momentous
in
moment.
Riyadh.
We can talk about how our expectations are fluid, you know, even after that.
I was good at one point. Once upon a time. Once upon a time.
You know, they even get to the semi-finals, and we think they've done themselves proud.
What's on smoke screen? What's on Syndra?
And you know, the
Turn it up more.
just keep going up and up and up with this team.
And they're building themselves up in all.
Hey, what's on Spot?
Cut it. Tristan, before we introduced our teams, you talked about operator bans. What do you feel can be seen here on?
I really hope Falcons win, man. I really, really do. I talked about it yesterday, but basically I just I would just love to see a Middle Eastern team win. This would be cool. It's on Saturn. Although, if BDS wins as well, BDS has never won anything. But I would rather have Falcons win overall.
Yep. And Lems is kind of flying under the radar, yet he's like the 3rd or 4th rated player in this tournament. He's like 10 kills in terms of keeping pace with Shaco. He's only 10 kills behind. So I think that Nook ban for me, is, you know, it could be massive, because BDS played Bank in their semi-final game, or it was maybe the last game in their groups, and I think Lems on that Nook that game was just completely the difference.
And then we've got, again, another obvious one is Finker, just because it's Shaiko. It's Shaiko.
Would you rather the Finker or the Nook?
I think because of the map.
Yep.
Because of the map, I'm going to say Nook. Crouching around the garage, crouching up.
TSM outdated, BDS already. Long as we waited, Falcons activated. There you go. Dude, yesterday's match was so good. So like when Falcons played Wild.
Personally go for the Nook, and also to add to that, yesterday in their semi-final matchup, Wild were repeatedly
I'm the type of guy to wiggle my fingers and say don't mind if I do. That is the most random analogy I've ever heard. Ice Turtle thing that I'm on. Why does it seem like every time I open the stream it's my sub anniversary review? Anyway, just turned 19 today. Love you, George. Hey, happy birthday.
BDS.
I'm gonna go for BDS.
All right, fair enough. We're gonna hear it this way. BDS from the analyst desk taking.
Yeah, so it's a $15 million tournament over several games. Like this is like a I think this tournament runs for like a whole month, I'm pretty sure. It's the lowest rank I've ever been. Lowest rank I've ever been is gold before, but King of Packlips. I'm actually like top 100 worldwide right now. I had a good last few days of Siege, so I was already champion. I'm champion 147 right now, I guess technically. I guess it went a little lower. But yeah, pretty good. So chat, while I was sleeping, okay, because you know I played ranked last night, I lost 44 literal back, then gained 48, then gained 17. So a minimum of 3 people got Battle Eye banned while I slept. And Mr. Potato, thank you very much for gifting 5 subs. One to Pog Charlie, Higgy, Legit Snipes, TKA Chuck, and Guy Who Is High. Welcome to all 5 of you. If you were lucky enough to get gifted sub Mr. Potato, make sure you thank Mr. Potato in the chat, and then link up your Ubisoft account, Twitch account with exclamation point jar. Thank you very much, Mr. Potato. Very much appreciated. Oh, the transition is insane. Oh, they banned Valkyrie. That's been like Shaiko's like main, and Alems has been going crazy on knock. That was smart. Smart bans.
Truly, when it comes to the ban phase, definitely going to be leaving some things open, especially on the attacking side. You've Thatcher still.
Peachy, thank the Prem sub.
But it is going to get in the way of the plans for BDS. So thankfully for them, at least on the attack.
And Ice Turtle, thank you very much for gifting us sub to Rocco. Dude, look at this stage, chat. This is the nicest stage that Siege has ever had. Beats Invite, Majors, Finals, Pro League Finals, nicest stage Siege's ever had.
There's the
100%.
trophy that our teams are going to be playing for in this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. We are locked in for the evening. It's 8:30 local time right now, and we've got a full best of 5 locked and loaded for these teams. So let's see who will be able to take the cake as we go
This
live
will be a good
with
game.
the first round here. BDS, of course, on
And
defense.
this is a best of 5. Oh yeah, predictions.
It'll be a basement site hold to start things out for BDS.
Shaiko essentially swapping one information gathering operator for another there. He's going to be playing the Pulse inside of this opening round. I reckon BDS will know that they were expecting some very targeted bans ahead of today, especially with how they've...
I hope Falcons win personally.
Operators that we have seen removed. So I'm sure they've got some tricks up there.
Am I going to stream some of the major? Probably will, yeah.
And at least for the meantime,
probably will.
They are extending themselves quite heavily into open area upstairs. Renshiro going to be placing down a couple of castle barricades, getting a couple lines of sight open in there as well. But they have
so they're actually playing this differently than they played against Liquid. They were opening hatches up, remember, last time against Liquid yesterday. So they probably realized that that doesn't really work very well.
Quite a lot of damage there is initially going to come under a little
no damage.
Mad Skills straight into that.
So Mad Skills, by the way, is Falcons' coach. So Falcons is a Middle Eastern team, they're, you know, from Saudi Arabia. They've been playing great, and they're playing with their coach on top of it. You can't hear it very well? I mean, I could turn it up more. Can you? How's the volume? Is it too low, or is it just this guy?
Be more willing to fall back to the depths of the basement. Away from this, though, no sign of any immediate action. Still waiting for Lems to get his first opportunity, and the Falcons not choosing to challenge it.
Good. Should it be like a little bit higher? It's a little bit quiet.
Pre-fire, Oakhill's looking for the pinch over towards top stairs at main as well, but not going to be able to lock in any individual member of BDS just yet. Lems continues to be elusive from the inside of open.
There we go.
Gonna make a play here, but it's way too bold. Just walks right out into Oakhill's.
There we go. Opening pick, first of the match.
He's gonna go down without dishing out.
Is that better?
Lem's just getting caught out there on the rotation.
Or a little higher.
Shaiko below with the heartbeat scanner, and I imagine Shaiko was feeding a little bit of information there over to him.
So they've been doing this. So BDS has been doing this for the last 2 days. They were running Valkyrie nonstop, but with Falcons running a ban on it, now they're running the Pulse instead from Vault, so this way they can get the full info.
Focused at the job at hand, which is now, of course, going to be trying to deny any sort of push that's coming.
Yeah, no Valk, that's why. Where did I get the 15 million number? From the official website that literally lists. This is a tournament that takes place over a bunch of different games, and it totals $15 million, so that's where I got it.
They know that this plant is going to be starting to come down. They've still got quite a bit of utility to burn as well. 3 toxic babe canisters. Breeday can get in position to use them. That's going to stem out a lot of the time here.
Good news for Falcons, we just saw that drone sneak through, getting full intel on the entirety of this security setup. So perfect for the Falcons. They know exactly, or they should know at least, where every single one of these defenders in that area is going to be playing from. Shaiko gets the first pickup, but
yeah,
Joker immediately exchanges that back
it's a total $15 million tournament. So over, it's like Siege, like Rocket League, PUBG, I think Fortnite. There's like a lot of different games. This particular tournament, Siege is 2 mil, I'm pretty sure.
We'll have to be heroic here in the clutch. The peek out from red, the pre-fire.
Nice.
And the Falcons claim the first round of the tournament, or the first round of the series.
Great round there from Mad Skills as well. All he did in that round, he opened up the hatch outside of Tellers, and he dropped it and picked up a kill. Played so patiently. Didn't have to give.
The major's like 300K, yeah. No, this stage is gorgeous though.
And that little bit of a hatch drop there into gold really opened things up. Falcons doing a great job of just picking BDS apart there. Good utility usage as well. We just got a glimpse there of the nade that was almost left as martyrdom after Shaiko had already picked up the kill. And again, a good plant-focused round, looking to extend that timer and really give themselves the advantage. BDS are going to give it another go down here, and they're going to mix things up a little bit.
Nice, slow, and composed push overall from the Falcons, not giving a whole lot over to BDS, and not even really taking a whole lot for themselves over the course of the round. Just as you said, very execute-focused style of play, and they slowly are able to isolate out BDS, forcing them to make the aggressive.
Oh yeah, the stage is beautiful, dude.
We saw for the last player there, directly into the Falcons setup, giving them the large majority.
I wonder if
obviously the first one they pick up
did they do that middle hatch? I can't move the camera. Okay, it's closed.
Realistically, for them to be able to win that, and that's
so yesterday yesterday, like, okay, so BDS has been changing this up. So they were playing yesterday on this map, and they were keeping the open area hatch open. I want Falcons to win. It's like an underdog story. Plus, I would love to see a Middle Eastern team win the tournament, and hopefully, so my hope is that Falcons win, and then Ubisoft realizes, like, hey, because I've been watching, like, the Middle Eastern teams play for, like, a few years now. So my hope is that they, like, win. Ubisoft realizes, hey, these guys are actually really good, and there is a Middle Eastern league, but making it so that they have, like, access to get to, like, the Invitational and, like, majors and stuff like that.
He's replaced the Electroclaw just yet. Mad Skill's still chilling out there inside of main.
It is a live stage, yeah. It is a live stage. How is it to play in this environment? It is pretty nerve-wracking, yeah. So, I mean, when I used to play, like, it's weird though. Like, I never used to really get nervous when I played professionally.
Last round, we are going to see that elevator hatch now opened. And it is going to give that option for that backsided push once again.
Then, of course, the Mavericks switched away, so the reinforcements that are there via the Electric Claws are going to be a little tough for them to be able to breach past. Going to need to try and insert a nade in the general area.
So let's see, they could also open the wall up. I don't know how many pellets Mad Skills has left, but if Mad Skills has enough pellets, C4 up from Shaiko, that's the pulse.
And it's going to land true directly on top of Mad Skills to knock him out first this round. As this time it's BDS.
Oh yeah. I mean, sure, there's probably a little bit of nerves there.
Worse for wear here in terms of what their next move should be. Once again, though, free drone is allowed to go all the way through the CCTV.
Shaiko's been going ham in this tournament, by the way.
From this point forward. In fact, it's looking like J-Lad's going to make
I mean, it's nice there's like an underdog story. Plus, I just think that Middle Eastern teams are really good, and I would like to see them be able to make like majors and invite and stuff like that.
Is eventually going to push in quite aggressively here on the crouch wall. He's got himself a great line of sight onto Renshiro, and he's going to look to line one up onto Shaiko as well. Keeps himself safe for the time being. The Goyo does get popped. He's going to deal a little bit of damage out there.
There is a big difference.
In around that main stair area.
Nice 2K from J-Lad. It's Jalad, right? If I'm not mistaken. Someone said Gaster said J-Lad. This is the first Arabic team in a tournament. There's been other tournaments, but they're generally mostly like Middle Eastern teams and stuff. So when you play on land, there's like no lag. You know when you shoot people sometimes and it like kind of lags and stuff? He could have planted. Maybe, but if he got caught out, then the bomb would have gotten stuck there.
Inside of the 1vx, he has to try and play his best inside of that scenario, but it's too far.
So you wouldn't want to take bomb that deep. Plus, when they heard you planting, you're like really out in the open. It's a good spot. Like he snuck in there.
Full intel about what exactly was
he snuck in there and he was able to get in there and get that pick on the guy in vault, which was good, and then kind of hold the garage angle. But planting there, no, I wouldn't have planted there. Yeah, I think winners get first prize. It's like 400K. Loser, semi or finalist, like second place gets like 250, I believe it is. And there's like the prize that. So for Siege. Siege is $2 million of the $15 million tournament, but they're playing other games as well. So they're a whole different series of games. Yeah, I hope we get more of this as well too. I really do.
Vertical play that is available here on this site. BDS are rocking their same usual.
The production value is like 10 out of 10. Literally, it's the best I've seen in Siege for sure.
The pick that really draws my attention, Blue, here is going to be LMs on the Oryx.
They're doing like an open area hold here. See how they take this. So holding up.
The Oryx as well yesterday. A lot of opportunity on this map, particularly for hopping up through hatches and using the burst.
Is the biggest prize? Well, it's for a whole tournament for this, so it's over multiple games. The tournament for the prize pool for Siege specifically is 2 mil of the 15 million. So it's like the second biggest. His invite is 3 mil. So it's like prize money wise right under invite basically.
For that Oryx to potentially re-engage onto the second floor in a later point in the round should that moment of opportunity arise, but it's quick from Joker. He's gonna walk right in, completely misses Shaiko, hiding in the corner of open though, so it's a free opening pickup for BDS again here at the cost of the Finka for the attackers as well.
They learned from this mistake. That was yesterday. They were getting rushed on.
Why is this happening? What are you doing? What are you hoping to achieve by rushing into side like that? He was lucky to get past Renshiro inside of Tellers, never mind Shaiko.
What makes it stand out as the best reduced tournament and stuff?
It's a nice kill that BDS are going to say, thank you very much, we take those ones for free. Shaiko, he's not done there though, he's going to take O kills down, he's getting multiple kills from this area alone, barely having to move his
Here,
feet.
I'll change the title because people are confused. We'll do that, why not?
Push looks a little bit disjointed from here. We still have Mad Skills out there.
Android Killer, I think the 7 months. Hello, Boomer Boy, as late as always. Hey, I'm early today, okay?
Vision. He can look to maybe try and make a couple of holes vertical here, especially if Kotos gets up to assist. But realistically, where do you go from here?
Yeah, Shaiko's just had far too easy of a time.
Oh, anyway, yeah, if you just look at like the stage and stuff, the transitions they have when the game starts, just like a really smooth, just a really smooth tournament in general.
Bottom end of main stairs there is where he meets his demise.
Everything's been flowing well.
But Shaiko still has a pretty strong position over by the
all the deaths are beautifully made.
A little shift since then. Mad Skills popping this hatch, getting breached here. Not going to be able to play into it too heavily just yet. Eventually he gets beaten out by Alems on the hot room as well. Koto's the last one standing here. He does get a single trade, but that's all the team will take home on this round.
They're extending really far. I think that
from the Falcons at the start of it.
You cannot afford to feed.
I think if they maybe had somebody at like at the window as well, they probably could have distracted Shaiko, and they needed like a drone in there following up.
Like Shaiko is dangerous at the best of times. You give him a little bit of confidence, you feed him a couple of freebies, he is going to be very difficult.
Yeah, I feel like Joker though, like he had the play to sneak in there. They just had to distract Shaiko a little bit and give him info.
I think it was worth noting. Shaiko is around 26 kills behind O kills going into this fixture, so BDS haven't played as many maps as the Falcons have. Falcons have had a lot of 2-1 victories, BDS have had a lot of 2-0 victories. They haven't dropped a map yet moving into this grand finals. As such, the kills are a little bit skewed, and O kills is around 26 kills ahead of Shaiko going into this. There is a prize for the highest kill getter inside of the tournament, the player credited with the most kills. And already Shaiko is looking to try and extend that lead a little bit. It would be very difficult for him to.
How many are in the audience? Oh, they have like a decent, nice little crowd. I don't know how many, to be honest. I haven't seen like I'd guess like maybe a few hundred potentially.
To a huge degree in this series is to go the full distance. Maybe, just maybe, we can see Shaiko close that gap, especially with him.
Why isn't it KPR? Well, there's an MVP prize. I think the MVP prize is like $100,000, and then I think like top kills is like 25K. So I think it's kind of cool that somebody, even if you play more maps, like it's still like a. I think it's so cool that they get, you know, if they still get like the 25K for top kills, actual top kills, not KPR. I mean, KPR is like a nice stat, but if you're doing like an extra little something, just have it for most kills. MVP is the 100K anyways, and if you're getting the most kills and you're going crazy like that, you're probably getting the 100K either way. So I feel like Shaiko will get it, the 100. Well, I don't know though. O kills has been crazy in this tournament as well too, though. Yeah, top kills is like a 25K bonus, 100K bonus for 100K bonus for MVP. Spartans 89 months out of past and present pros. Who is your 5-man team? Oh, I don't know. I would pick 5 and Taros.
Seems like Shaiko and Alems are doing everything inside of this round. They're really battling back against the Falcons.
I honestly, I would say like, yeah, whoever wins.
Extremely patiently on blue, and he's got the opportunity to rotate there
obviously.
as well. He doesn't need to play
So
too aggressive.
I mean, O kills probably is gonna end up with the most kills, obviously from playing more maps. But right now, BDS hasn't dropped a map, at least from what I understand.
The skylight, a horrible angle to be trying to challenge onto.
I saw that yesterday, but wait a minute. Didn't they like lose the map to Liquid? Losing my mind. No, they did not. That's right. BDS 2-0'd them. Liquid through yesterday.
He's coming under increasing fire, takes a good chunk of damage there, and might need to dip down out of these stairs. Bit of vertical pressure coming in there onto Kotos as well. I'm afraid.
He is also, by the way, too. BDS has never won a tournament before. A lot of people don't know that because they think because like Shaiko's like a well-known good player but he's never won anything before. Not a Pro League Finals, not a major, minor, nothing.
Might not matter a whole lot. The members of the Falcons quickly carving control over the site. Shaiko, the only one.
Nice.
No kills, quick to clean
Here we
him
go.
up
It's
as
best of 5,
well.
yeah.
Definitely stretched for time, but
You always feel like it's weird when people use 1x sites because they can use other sites.
Open up a window for themselves to swing into the site.
I don't
Take
know.
control. That'll be 2-2 now.
I mean, I like 1.5 sites personally. O-Kills is really good. Yeah, it's insane.
I imagine we will head back down to the basement now for round number 5. There wasn't a great deal they could do to stop the pressure coming in. As soon as Falcons hit that goal button, as soon as they decided...
Falcons are forgetting the diffuser. They're probably leaving it right out. It seems like they're leaving it... I didn't see where they left it that round, but they're probably trying to establish site control and leave the bomb outside because if somebody has an opportunity to go in site, you don't want them going into site and getting it... They left it in spawn? Well, they probably just messed up. I mean, people make mistakes, it happens. But yeah, I mean, a lot of times you don't necessarily want to have somebody carrying it, per se, because you want to leave it in a spot where if somebody needs to make a play, they have the opportunity to do so without leaving the bomb in a bad spot. But spawn, they probably just forgot it there. I mean, it happens. Yeah, the crowd is like really passionate. Do I miss playing in Pro League? I mean, I don't miss playing in Pro League anymore now. I like to just chill. I still could like watch games and like I love that. Like, by the way, side note, this tournament and like series of tournaments, the previous ones they've done, these were the first Siege tournaments that I was ever allowed to co-stream. So like I don't know, I like co-streaming like the different R6 tournaments and stuff like that, and like they, in my opinion, like this series of tournaments has always been like a step ahead of Ubisoft, like their actual own tournaments.
BDS obviously feeling as though they can get away with a different pick and a little bit more utility there as well. O-Kills just gonna be at the top of these main stairs.
What do I think of the player? Oh yeah, like Middle Eastern players are nuts, dude. I mean, I'm also Middle Eastern too, so like, I don't know, you want to see people do good. Like, I also just think, I've just thought they've always been like a good region in general, and just want to see them, if they could win, that'd be awesome. Even if they don't win though, I honestly think Ubisoft should take like a hard look, you know, and say like, these guys are good. They deserve a chance, like to make majors, Pro League Finals, invite, etc.
Frag out a trade war versus the Falcons when we came down to a low time to execute. Falcons, though, getting all the hatches they more than likely want open here. Might see a little bit more delay as they...
The fact that we can see these games be competitive is nice. Seeing the Middle Eastern teams and more Southeast Asia over the past years, even though we haven't in a lot of tournaments, is a thing that this makes it even more crazy. We see more Falcons, like APAC, relegations in the APAC open outside. Yeah, I mean, like, Shaiko's been playing very well in this tournament too, though, man. But Shaiko's 8-2 right now in 4 rounds, well 5th round technically now. Yeah, I mean, I would say like, you know, whatever, having Middle East be able to play like within Europe potentially, you know, or within you know, APAC potentially, like maybe having like, they have a Middle Eastern league, like keep the Middle Eastern league around, like just like it is, but then have like, they already have like a MENA finals, like Middle East North Africa finals, so do that, and then have the winners of that like land finals be able to play against EU teams at like a smaller like finals, right? So like let's just say like top 4 in the Middle East go to a land finals to play like top 4 from Europe, and then the best of those teams go to invite, right? Or whatever. Just as an example. Ooh! Nice try.
stars to shut down things inside of the 1v1 and lock in the round for BDS by just a hair.
Coach, by the way.
Is there a reason that pros stick with Hollow A? People just like what they like. I mean, there's like, what, 11 gun sites? Yeah, that's their coach, by the way.
Let's go and deal with him. And they did just exactly that, but unluckily, or unfortunately, should I say, for them, it wasn't quite enough. There was still enough players from BDS dug in deep with Lems there to pick up that final kill. They are successful once again inside of the basement. We likely now move into open area.
Do you have a prediction for who's winning Berlin? I don't know, honestly. It's really, like, up in the air. Siege, I feel like Siege tournaments these days is just like a crapshoot when you guess who's going to win.
I highly doubt that we see, or at least I hope that we don't see the same again coming in here. And already there's a couple of changes coming in the lineup. We're going to bring out the thermite.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I would love to see, like, maybe, like I said, either, like, top 4 from the Middle East, like have European LAN finals, or have like, a European finals maybe online or after Pro League, have top 4. And then have Europe, like, Europe top 4, Middle East top 4, and then, like, the best, though they have, like, a miniature LAN tournament, and the best teams. That's, like, kind of what they do with, like, APAC, so, like, that'd be kind of cool if they did that for adding, this way Middle Eastern teams have a chance to make these, like, tournaments and stuff, like, actual official UB tournaments, like, invite majors, Pro League. Yeah, there's a lot of RNG in Siege. I swear, it's like, it's really tough to make predictions in Siege these days, because before, like, if a team was better, they were probably, like, just legitimately better. There were not so many gadgets, and, like, people play, like, very differently nowadays. I feel like the game is, I would agree, but it's, like, way more random now than it used to be. Way more random.
Falcons are often keeping
Well,
very safe.
I mean, this is a whole side note, but I feel like Siege as a game, I feel like Siege as a game, people have gotten better in Siege, but I feel like in a way, it's like the skill ceiling of the game has gone down. You don't need to really make, like, there were not as many info operators, like, really early in the game, right? Like, there was really just, like, Pulse was kind of it, and just droning. Now there's so many gadgets and tools and all these. I remember all the original operators have basically been reworked at this point. All of those changes have made it easier to play the game. What's the Thermite skin? He didn't have a Thermite skin, I don't think. It was probably, I didn't see it, but it was probably like it's like not, it's the same set as Glacier, but it's like that blue one with the gold and blue, shiny blue. It's like the, like, whatever, grade 1 or whatever it's called. I have that skin as well. I used to use it. I don't use it anymore. But
from the side of BDS is locked into the site or an extended position from there on the first floor now, just awaiting the execute. They're coming from the Falcons, and I think we may be getting it quite soon.
You agree as
They're
well?
starting to build themselves up for the
I mean,
square
yeah,
push.
it's like,
Shiro,
I mean, don't get me wrong, like, the game, I like that there's, like, more options and stuff now, but before, if you were playing the game, you really had to have, like, good game sense, good positioning, good teamwork, like, all that kind of stuff, right? Obviously, gunplay and everything mattered, too. But now there's so many gadgets, right? There's so many gadgets and things that you can do to, like, get an advantage over your opponents. Z pinging, yeah, there's a million things.
Here for Falcons inside this round. 20 seconds left to go and 4 kills.
That's the skinniest they could probably, yeah. Where am I originally from? I mean, I'm born and raised in the United States, but my family, so we're Chaldean, so it's technically like my great grandparents came from the Middle East, so it's like modern day. So we're basically ancient Babylonian. That's pretty much what Chaldeans are. Neodymium, thank you for the 60 months. Love the content. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Neodymium. Very much appreciated.
Scoreline will be locked in for the defense as we reach the end of the first half here. Things will look good.
So yeah, I mean, technically, so I'm Chaldean. We don't really, like, it's like Babylon. We don't, like, really have our own country. So it's like, it was the Ottoman Empire when my great grandparents came to the U.S. But it's
Luck in the first of
modern
3 for
day,
this
like
series.
Iraq.
Folks, we got a
So
best of 5 for this finals today.
yeah, so it's like modern day Iraq. But yeah, they don't have like a country, and like it's been a long time since they have.
Will need to be ready to play into as well here, as they're both, I'm imagining, going to be relatively inexperienced with this length of a game. So this series, to an extent, will turn into that bit of a war of attrition if we end up going the full distance and end up on maps like 4 and 5. These players will need to make sure they can keep their stamina.
New season stuff. Yeah, well, yeah, technically, I guess like kind of Iraqi, but it's not really like the same thing. It's like I don't know. It'd be like it's like a little bit different. So like it's kind of like say, okay, you know how like Native Americans. Oh, you're from Iraq? Oh, nice. Yeah, you know how like Native Americans are like technically like they would say they're from America because, well, that's like now it's America, but they're not, like they just don't have their own, like, I guess they kind of have like Native American reservations now. It's kind of like complicated. But yeah, basically it's like a culture where we like don't have a country, I guess. You know? Yeah, modern day Iraq.
Quite the extension.
But basically ancient Babylonian. So they're Chaldean. So
they're bringing the Monty, and that usually speaks.
Recoil nerf next season. Yeah, well, we're not Kurdish, but like so like the area that Chaldeans are from is near, like it's like in between. It's like in between that area, so that area is like Mesopotamia area. So it's like its own thing, kind of.
Especially if the square control is going to be crunched in, and that other player from the Falcons holding upstairs by Electrical is not going to be able to maintain. So you'll see O-kills here start to slowly back up closer to
right.
open area.
So yeah, so it's kind of like Native Americans, how they're like,
right,
they're older than America.
Falcons. And you may be right with what you were saying before. BDS with the confidence, and especially with the Montaigne, maybe going directly for the site play, especially if they've realized.
Yeah, it's you can like look up like
first and second floors.
Whatever Chaldeans and stuff. It's or ancient Babylon. So it's like the culture that basically was in like ancient Babylon.
Picks up one before being immediately traded. Koto's now feeling the heat. Pops the Goyo canister. Great play there with the pistol.
They did a lot of damage to Monty, which is great.
Huge amount of damage. We are going to see the wall open, and Rafal does.
I ever done an ancestry test? What's it called? I've had family members and stuff that have, yeah.
So although the opening
not me personally.
Sneaky play from Alem's worked out, it came at quite a cost.
Joker still waiting to try and pick off a few of these players as they work their way in, but the first target's going to be the Montaigne thrown out against
Monty is getting. Okay, this is perfect. Galad is like on flank right now. This is going to be huge. Falcons are. This is. They're planting. They're planting.
3v3, but obviously BDS kind of down a player to the fact that one's permanently on a shield.
Perfect.
Shutting it down with the assistance of
that was a great flank. They had hatch control and everything.
As well, due to the heroic hold he had with the push that came in from Garage, but it all still falls to the Falcons as they bring it within one round's grasp of tying it up again as they bring us up to 3-4.
Every round the Falcons win, the crowd just gets that little bit louder as well, and the chants reignite. Picking up that round downstairs on basement very successfully. Again, a bit of a strange.
I hope the Falcons win. It's gonna be hard. BDS is a great team. They're a great team.
And things like the Goyo kind of just work perfectly to try and counter that sort of a play. Rafal was never given time really to activate inside.
Any interesting results that surprised me? I honestly thought Liquid was gonna beat BDS, but I don't know.
The second attempt.
I'm rooting for Falcons. I want to see the underdog team win.
Couple of 6 picks coming in from
the home team.
Well. We're going to swap out a Thermite for
see Middle Eastern team win.
And a Monty for a Dokkaebi. So
it's best of 5.
Unorthodox lineup coming out here from BDS. No hard breach. Potentially a secondary hard breach.
BO5.
You're really going to be looking toward what Alems can do with Sledge on that vertical pressure, and obviously with the nades as well.
The Falcons looking to try and close things up here with that open area hold, and BDS, of course, bringing pretty much the same lineup we saw.
Yeah, Liquid versus BDS game is great. Honestly, though, the Wild versus Falcons game was so fun to watch yesterday too.
Exception of having that secondary hard breach utilities.
I find like, you know what's weird is that like I've seen like the casters and stuff a few times saying how like the Middle Eastern teams are like ultra aggressive, and I do think that like other tournaments that I've watched with Middle Eastern teams, they are like ultra aggressive. But that being said, I don't think that they like. I've honestly seen like when they attack, they're very measured in their attacks.
The extended game from the Falcons is
Couple
going
early
to
picks.
unfortunately just not work out at all here.
Dude, Shaiko's honestly, people have been talking about Shaiko doing really well in this tournament, and he has. But
taking some heat. Thankfully, Kotos once again saving the
there
day.
you go.
Oh,
the timing. Honestly, Alems has been playing really well too. Like, they were losing against Liquid, and then Alems went off on Oregon when he was playing Knock.
Maybe looking to get aggressive here at the top of square. Brede with a really long angle though onto that double door. So
yeah. Well, also you have to remember too, like the Middle East didn't even have their own servers until like literally what, this year, I think. So it's like, how are you supposed to properly practice and play if you're playing in like 200 ping all the time? Like, you have to swing everything. So unless you're playing like super aggressive, like you're just gonna, you know, die.
The player for BDS is. It was Brede. They were out there on the rappel, nowhere near the copy window. Alems is still looking to try and work this vertical, and he is going to be rewarded. No save.
Nice.
Kotos hits him with the reverse headshot there with the Vector. Fast fire rate straight through those beams. It's going to be enough to level things up here, 3 versus 3.
Joker ready to contend against the pressure from Copy, or should we see it come to fold for BDS? And very much might be the case. BDS are looking for a new horizon to push into.
Is BDS map or Falcons? I actually missed the ban phase because
not panned out for them. We are going to see the
I thought that the pregame show was supposed to start at 1:30. So I got on like at like 1:25 or whatever, and the pregame, the map bans had already gone through. This is Falcons. Sorry, BDS map. Nice. Dude, they brought this back. This is a 5v3.
Seeing as he's now the only player left alive, is going to have a serious lack of intel in terms of where the shots were coming from as well. So not going to have the greatest play capability to clutch this one out in the 1v3.
Nice.
By the Falcons, as Kotos once
beautiful
again
5v3 or 3v5 comeback.
Mid-round kills that allow the rest of the Falcons to re-aggress and shut down the rest of the play coming in from BDS.
Yeah, well, whenever you do like the DNA test type of thing, you're kind of like a little bit from everywhere most of the time. Like, mine was, or whatever, I had my sister, I think, did it, and it was like, we were kind of from like a little bit all over the Middle East for the most part, but like mostly it was to like Mesopotamia, whatever region, which is like Chaldean. That's, you know, Babylon was in Mesopotamia, so that made like a lot of sense. That was like most of it, but there was like other countries mixed in there and stuff.
Now, if we think
like
back
from the
to
Middle East as well.
BDS were on the defense. Falcons were actually
pretty much anybody, if you actually go and do like a DNA test thing, you'll be kind of from like a bunch of different countries.
It is often seen as one of the more attacker-sided sites on this map, and that's likely where Falcons are going to be forced.
And then like the how like it like people are not from like just one country. Love you. Well, yeah. Love you.
It's a bit of a weird one for BDS considering the opening entries just at a serious lack of intel, which what Kotos was able to do from the inside of Tellers.
Go on, telling badass like the 18 months.
Have enough drone presence on the inside of there, or felt it had been cleared out. But ever since he picks up his first kill, players were constantly having flank watch established on top of that, and even then he's still able to dash out of it 2 more times and pick up additional frags for the team.
I got my
BDS will have to look for a way to patch that up on future attacks on that site. More than likely going to see that site at least 1 more time in this game, as the Falcons will unlock it in 2 more rounds. But for the time being, they've got to go to their tertiary here on the 2nd floor, the same one that BDS picked into. We're going to see that same style of delay come out for the Falcons, mainly with the Koyo canisters. It's been working this well for Kotos, so no real reason to switch away from it. And of course, those canisters can still delay just as prominently up here. But away from that, Mad Skills will also make a return to the Echo.
Those tests are also real to law enforcement.
Should we see BDS
yeah, that's like a whole nother thing.
Swinging on the rappel, where Falcons may not be able to directly fire back if they've been pushed out of areas like the meeting room and Janitor.
Falcons are holding on though, neck and neck.
From Rafale as well. He hovered it in the last round and ended up on the Lion. This time it is going to get locked in along with the ace for Brede, just switching off that Thermite. J-Lad going to be showing us what he can do on the Oryx as well this time, as we often speak of Alems' prowess on this operator, but it looks as though we might have to start adding J-Lad.
I don't know if I'm going to stream through the whole night, or if I'm going to get off after this. We'll just have to see.
Round number 9 here. Typical setup on this top floor. There's going to be a lot of Azami Kiba barricades to deal with, and
I'll see how I feel, I guess.
Exchange as Rafal's actually got a great drone, nice and deep inside of the site.
Lem's ready to try and start nading out the site as well. We don't have a whole lot of utility mitigation either, so anything that they're able to predict in terms
Everybody's
of where utility's
very
going to be positioned is probably
disrelated.
going to land quite true. As we see Kotos
Probably.
taking just a
I don't know how that exactly works, but
certain if he had anything surrounding
now we're getting a whole other
thing.
things.
Barricade get taken out. There's a possibility for something else to have been here. Lems as well, pre-firing into it, so close to the shots against Kotos, and we do actually see a bullet or two connect onto him at the end of that chain. Another one's going to be found, but it's not enough yet to get the full kill against him, and the same can be said for O-Kills here. BDS so close to these opening frags, they just can't finish it off.
Dude, one thing I must say as well, Blue is a great caster. I love his like pacing and stuff.
Rounds have been quite close and scrappy toward the end. Any damage you can get out now is always good. We are going to see Lems pick up a kill there onto Madskill's beautifully timed adrenal surge boost from Shaiko as well, just to give him the extra oomph in that fight. Madskills falls on the Echo.
So they have their full, they have like square, they have square and window control. This is the most basic take for the site, but it's really safe. I don't like blame them for doing it.
Window. Want to try and fend off any direct challenges that may come in further down.
Yeah, it started at
hallway.
1:30.
J as well as
Well,
stop needs to
Eastern
get things
US
open
time,
here, but
so
J
like,
Lad was not dealt with deeper in the site.
40
Big
minutes
hop
ago.
From Joker, but it's going to be caught immediately by Rafal. All for naught there on the run out from him, but he does get the intel on two players on Repel. However, this is pretty default, so more than likely would have already been expected. Great read from BDS, more than likely with a drone somewhere in lobby to read this push and prevent being picked off, as we'll see those players repel back down into safer corridors. O-Kills ready to fend off that pressure coming in from top square 2, but Shaiko and the rest of BDS may not need it at this point. They have the breaches, they have the sight
Dude, I
lines,
can't
so
wait
they
for
can more than
Finka to
likely
get
take the
nerfed.
risk on moving in without that
Supposedly
concern. They also
Ubisoft
have the
said
repel
next
angle, so
season is
here
when
we
the
go.
nerf is
Breeding
coming for
already
Finka.
halfway through the plant.
I cannot
J-Lad making
wait.
a mad dash to the back of square, but Shaiko already making quick work
Nice
of one of his
shot.
teammates. Breeding, the planter, will be taken down, and O-Kills also going to be able to grab one from his new position on the inside.
If he can
of
kill-
Meeting. Evens out the player count into a 2v2, and we'll also see both the Falcons players get back the immediate area, where obviously we have the diffuser down on the ground. O-Kills will venture toward this, try to tap on it.
If they can get rid of,
They can't fight forever.
no.
J-Lad will make the hop out. He'll go down to
It's gonna be
Rafal.
tough.
And now this leaves O-Kills in a very, very tough scenario. Still gets the first of two needed, but that second one out on Repel is going to be so, so tough. This is all a mind game. He'll get himself off of that counter defuse first. The next one, no! He's got just enough time to go back.
Dude!
What a huge clutch from O-Kills.
He should not have won that. Look crazy, take the prime sub.
That hurts if you
He should
are
not have
a
won that
fan
round.
or indeed a BDS
No
player.
way.
That is not a situation you want to be losing like that. A fantastic
BDS
play
through.
from O-Kills,
To be
picking up
honest,
all the
bit of a
kills
misplay
required
from
and
BDS, like
still
peeking
having
that.
enough
As soon
time.
as he shot, you know that you have like, you
Likely
can just
gonna
repel
feel a
up
little
and
bit
you have like
responsible
a
for
few more
that
seconds
one.
of him
It is a
tapping the
fine,
bomb.
fine art
But, like,
playing a post
still,
and playing
I mean,
a post-planted
huge,
diffuser like that. It all is about your bottle. It all is about
that,
your
like,
metal.
throwing that is like,
Rafal's
I don't
metal
know.
was tested.
That's like a tilter.
A shame
That's
as well,
honestly a
because he picked
tilter
up
for
two great
BDS.
kills on runouts. Two kills that were flying out of windows, trying to take him down. He was there, ready and waiting. These guys were dead before they'd even hit the ground. But he hadn't accounted for O-Kills.
Yep, beautifully played either way from the Falcons, specifically for O-Kills there. Knew he had to try and go for a bit of a mind game play, fake him out with that first counter defuse. Had to go back for it, I think, a second time as well to get him to peak one more time. Obviously, you're on the other end of that. BDS, I don't think, had any preset drones on the inside of there, so would have had no idea when he was getting on and off of that, just purely based on audio cues. And unfortunately, he just goes a bit too adventurous there on that final.
I think it's a bit of an
Didn't
odd
really
case. No
wanna
one's playing her
commit to
before,
it, but
now
was just a
everybody's
bit
picking
too
her.
far
Dude.
out. As the O-Kills consume from
I
just
was
on the
playing
inside of that
Finka
window, and
forever.
shuts him down, giving him the clutch with quite literally just
Or people have been
enough
watching my
time.
videos
He
and
gets
stuff
onto that
in
counter
stream
fusion
for a
probably
long
half a
time.
second or less.
You guys remember on old
Access
Skyscraper,
to
that little strat that I used to do? Where I used to nade the rotate hole, and then I would just rush inside top black stairs on Sky.
Mad Skills just keeping an eye out over.
I think it's
on
always
Saturday
been good.
Repel. He did die there a couple of rounds ago. I think it was Brede that was maybe credited with that one. But we've seen a lot of nice one-taps from Mad Skills so far this
I think
tournament.
it has always
We've
been
seen
good.
Another couple here.
They
Also,
buffed
BDS
LMGs. The thing that they buffed on LMGs though
make any
is the
early
draw
mistakes
time.
inside of this round. They are now in a
So
situation
the
where they
time
have to
that you
be
take
flawless
to
on
like
these remaining
ADS
sites,
and
because
become
that
fully
that
ADS, they
filter of
lowered
onside,
that
seeing
time
the
on
upstairs
LMGs.
is
That's
the
why I
side
think
that
is
they
in
are
other
expected to
LMGs
win.
pick rates
The
have
fact that
gone up
BDS
so
did
much.
not
Zerga,
win
I think the
that
19
means
months.
their
Hi,
back
kitten.
basement has
Ah,
been going
Zerga.
away of the defenders. Sure, Falcons
How
have
are you?
picked up
Hopefully
one
you're
round
well.
on their own attack, but BDS up until this point have been
This match point?
unsuccessful.
No.
So they're gonna
So
need
it's
to
first
break
to
the mold
7, but you
here
got to win by
and
2
pick up some
rounds.
rounds in sites they have previously lost.
And a great sight to see as well, considering that this was, generally speaking, the stronger part of the game from BDS and previous parts of the tournament. This attacking side has been oftentimes what we've been talking about for BDS.
Zone window.
For
I'm
11s.
chilling. Excited to watch some good
Impact
games.
So far, the real highlight's been Shaiko is once again.
Shaiko
he
has
strikes
12
true,
kills
knocking out
already.
Mad Skills as well, taking the Legion out from play only about halfway through the round, so limiting the amount of those goo mines that would have gone down. Didn't really seem like that was the main point for Mad Skills, so he's not going to be losing too much sleep over that.
Well, they
His job
buffed
is done in terms
LMGs
of
in a few
wasting
different
time, and
ways.
now the rest of the
So
squad
originally,
needs to pick up pace down below.
used to run slower with an LMG. They got rid of that very early in the game, though. But it was still like a thing.
Is he gonna be able to get the heads up? Yes, he is. 2
So
kills on the round for Shaiko. All you do is give him
that
a
was
ping
the
and he's
thing.
like a guy
They
with
then
missile blue. He just goes in and
lowered the
picks it up
recoil.
from
LMGs
behind.
used to have more
No
recoil.
questions asked. There's a little bit of presence
So they
inside
lowered the
garage now
recoil.
as well, and I think that's
Then
gonna be a Lems that's
they
created the
pretty
kill
much had
over
like the
onto
same damage, I
Protoss.
believe, the whole time.
Protoss knows that someone's sitting there behind the ambulance and needs to try and do something about it.
The last thing
Take
that
a
they
portion of
did,
the
this is
round,
the
but
big
there are
one,
only
is
2
they changed the
Falcons players
ADS time.
remaining.
So they nerfed a bunch of
Really
other
the team that you
guns,
look to for a
and they
clutch
changed the
really
ADS
DMR
time.
isn't the most ideal, but say
That's
that
nice.
Jaylad's gonna make it work anyway. Take
They changed the
Shaiko
ADS
down
time.
on
So like
those main
before,
stairs.
if you
Nice
ADS
headshot.
with an
Booyah
LMG, it
is
used to
looking
take
get
you
a plant
like,
window and
whatever,
confirm
just
this
as an
round for
example,
Shiro.
say
Eventually
2
it's gonna
seconds.
end there.
They literally lowered it,
Jayla,
and it
Oakland's
takes
gonna
like
find
half
one
the
to pad
time now.
stats, but was it worth it? The diffuser's already been
Nice
planted.
try.
Booyah, a plant and a kill to close things out. BDS looking
Yeah,
much
they
better
pretty
there
much
on
took away
basement.
the recoil.
One of those
Right?
scenarios
So
where
they
it feels
severely
like,
lowered
yeah,
the
this round's pretty much
recoil.
over. I'm just gonna try and pad the stats, keep
The
myself
biggest
in
thing
this
is the
keep
movement
heading.
speed.
Yeah,
Like
he's
you
gotta
used
be at his
to
best, man.
exactly
you used
that.
to
So
walk slower
might
with an
just be one of
LMG
those
when you were
scenarios there
ADS.
for
You
him.
used
He
to
saw the
literally
easier
move
kill in
slower,
garage,
kind of like
at
how
least
like
wanted to get
Clash
that
moves
confirmation
slower.
1-for-1. But Shaiko indeed trying to keep pace ahead of O-Kills at this point. He's ahead of him in this game by 5 kills. Mind you, I think he's about 28 or so behind at the
Right.
beginning
Plus,
of
they
this
just
game,
nerfed
so
like every other
need to
gun.
definitely keep
Right, like
more
every
pacing
rifle
than
is
that if
no
he wants
longer
to
as
try and
effective,
catch
so
them
it just makes
before the
those
end
other
of
guns
this
more
series. For the
viable.
Falcons, though, now
But
tied
those
up
guns
once
were
again,
always
5
good,
to
like,
5. They're actually going
I
to
mean,
redo
people were
this.
using them.
Despite the fairly one-sided nature of how that last round played out, they'll head into it for one more trial. And we've got a very interesting pick for Kotos. He's feeling the confidence now. He's been promoted to Doc.
Is that a promotion?
I don't know.
I mean, it's something.
I'm just
isn't it?
going with the saying, you know?
Maybe that's the kind of promotion that you think you want and you don't really want it.
It's, I mean, for a basement site,
Unless Coates is just going to fly himself out of main door. It's always a good strategy. Pick the dock, get a decent site, juice yourself up,
I mean,
fly out the main door and see if there's anything.
This is
that
like
you
a
can
gun.
make
This is
happen.
just.
Doesn't look as though that's
This is
gonna
just
be
gunfights right
happening,
now.
though, due to his
So
positioning
I mean,
right
Doc's
now.
not the worst choice. He has Barb still.
Would like to see some
Or
real
BP, I guess,
aggression
they
here,
took.
though. Is he actually getting himself hidden there inside of open? I think he's maybe lying under a desk or something like that, just looking to make something happen. Falcons are more than happy to meet BDS in the field as well.
Moving
I think that's
reload
something that I noticed in
cancel.
the last
I
round.
actually like a reload
They don't
cancel.
bother
I'm
about
not
the
gonna
fact that this is
lie.
a great turtle site and you can just defend it.
I like it a
But, yeah,
lot.
we're going to get out there, we'll play around the map and we'll see if there's anything that we can pick up before dropping back. And if we get back, great. If we don't get back, as long as we've wasted some time and maybe got a kill, then that's going to be seen as a win in our book.
How much sleep? I slept like a full night. I went to bed at like 5 and I woke up at like 12:30.
Ooh. Frag as well. 2 ways as they'll knock out J-Lad with a
Shaiko is
frag grenade.
14 and
Taking him down,
7.
eliminates the Arena. Obviously, the laser gate still will stay in place. No utility lost here, but at the same time, that won't be true for our attackers.
Nice.
As Oakkill gets the exchange out against Shaiko. And
How do I feel about screen shake being removed? It's just an option to remove it. It's awesome. I hate screen shake.
What I assume is a very
It's the
smooth
fucking
one tap
worst.
to go out against Renshiro. Both of the Carbon operators knocked out now as the
Ooh,
Lion
how do you
hustles
lose
down,
that?
and another push by Spiral to take down a Lems as well. Mad Skills taking no prisoners here on this extended hold. Way more success in this avenue this time for the Falcons.
Mad Skills owns top floor, and you better believe it. You can't even go into bottom floor. He's going to have something to say about it. Picked
Yeah,
up some
Shaiko's a
great
beast.
kills there. BDS already left in the mud here. 2 versus 4. Sure, they've got a minute and a half, but they've got 2 hard breaches left. You're not looking to the hard breaches typically for a boatload of frags.
Why do they nerf Zophia's AK? I don't know. Ask Ubisoft.
And finish this one out. Just gonna be
I don't know why Ubi does like half the things that they do anymore, but it's okay.
It's going to be available for them.
They're just a bunch of sillies.
So they're just going to be going for little picks here and there. You got a glimpse there onto the.
Do they have a BP in server?
Managed to land the finishing blow though. With one of the walls, I think both of the walls actually left soft. It's actually going to be very difficult to breach, and therefore you are likely just going to be forced to use that main door. Mad Skills gets himself juiced up there by the dock, just ready for the next engagement. Brede is just going to be playing this one fairly
I mean,
patient.
I think all that reload canceling does is it just encourages more brain dead gameplay, right? Because if you hear somebody shoot a few shots, then people just immediately start running at each other.
Despite things being down to a 4v2, Brede finally
I don't know. I like reload cancel personally. I feel like this way, if somebody's running at you like a maniac, you can at least react to it. Mad Skills is their coach, yes.
A little bit of that HP back as well. Here's Kotos uses the last of his charges.
Yeah, I don't know why they nerfed those AK. That one never made sense to me.
Just hunting for frags at this point, trying to pick up the best that he can. He's going to see this push come back out against him from top blue. There's a sending
8
frag.
seconds left.
Not a whole lot else he's going to be able to do with only 5 seconds left. The round is locked in for the Falcons, and while another down against O-Kills, can't confirm it's no credit there as the Falcons
playing very well for a
get to
coach.
map point
Oh
first.
yeah. Coach doesn't have to be a bad player, you know.
On bank indeed. Are they going to put our analysts?
Some coaches are actually a lot of coaches are like, you know, ex-pros, or they could be a pro that they're good enough, but they choose to coach instead.
They said BDS takes it, and we all know what happens when that gets said. So there's still chance. Obviously, there's still chance for BDS to force an overtime here. Falcons sitting on map point here for our first map inside of the best of 5. Already we're getting treated. The potential of overtime in map number 1.
This is match point.
Very long evening if all of these maps go the same and we see all 15 rounds in every single one.
Grab some stacks, grab some drinks. Maybe not now, maybe we'll wait like 5-10 minutes as we still have the rest of this map to go, but still, lock in, ladies and gentlemen, as we are indeed looking at potentially a very, very long series.
I mean, yeah, Pojo has played.
Nicely. BDS as well, getting some revenge thrown at them for yesterday's game.
Gotcha has played. Like, TSM is always getting screwed over, honestly, when it comes to
their opponents in 2-0 fashion. Now it's them that's potentially going to have to deal with that comeback, because it's the Falcons that have come back from that very same scoreline. They're about to end it if they can lock in just one more round. As you said,
well, Pojo was a pro player. Goddess has played, yep. I used to play on a team with Pojo. Pojo and I used to play for what's now Dark Zero, so back then it was called Flipside, but yeah. I played with Pojo as a teammate for like a couple years. No, a year.
And is going to pick up the Thunderbird here to give that team that
Like
extra
a year.
aggressive capability, especially inside. Oh no, hold on, I gotta interrupt myself.
How do you turn off the questions?
They know what's happening though. Joker's able to fend off the
Ooh,
first
he got
bit of
one
it,
down.
but the rest of it's traded.
You can just click the Azurus logo and you can click hide.
Aggressive positioning here, but they're gonna be
You
smart
don't
about
hide
this.
the questions
They
that are
hold
popping
themselves.
up
They know the
on
rotates are
stream.
coming in, but Kotos
You saw the
still have
F3
straight
charm.
through regardless, knocking out Renshiro inside of Electrical. How does the rest of the team work their way
Supposedly
back?
F3 never paid them for that, by the way. They also never paid me for that, but whatever. I mean, I wasn't technically on the team when it came out, even though I was like one of the main reasons that they got a charm, but you know, it's fine. That's just flip side.
This is terrifying.
That was literally just a window rush.
35 seconds left to go. Kotos, he doesn't know that Brede is immediately to his right. Okill's going for a little bit of a rotation here. Could look to try and use some vertical. Hail Mary C4 going to go out, but it's not going to do anything other than give away Kotos' information and location here. Is going to get a couple of pre-fire shots out there, but it looks as though BDS know exactly where he is. Brede is locked in. He's not wanting to move. Lems finds
nice try.
the second. The rush round from BDS pays off against all odds.
You got it because of Adam and me, and then you found out we didn't get paid? Yeah. Well, that's flip side.
Save the day. Send us to that
They
first
are,
map overtime.
I don't know. Supposedly, I think at maybe
they
ended up getting paid at some point.
They're going to look to try and claim this first map for themselves. As we go into overtime now, seeing the sides in just a moment here. Oftentimes, obviously going to be quite influential, but I'll be honest, we've seen this be traded out quite evenly. The 4-2 is for both sides. Now we'll have to see who brings us a stronger performance inside of overtime.
I must admit, I panicked when I saw BDS go for the rush. I really, really panicked indeed when I saw BDS just all Hail Mary through in from copy window.
Done, Johnny.
A rush on a match point.
Yeah. I mean, I technically wasn't on flip side anymore. So when I was on flip side, I was like
must have something else.
Oh, yeah.
basically one of the reasons that flip side got a charm in Siege. But I wasn't on the team once they got a charm. So like that one's like iffy. But I mean, at least from what I understand, they didn't pay, or maybe they never paid. Like Pojo and like Adam, like Mint. I don't know if they ever got paid or not, honestly. I know that they like publicly were saying that they didn't get paid, but I don't know. I never really asked them if they got resolved.
It's not been their most favored side up until this point. Sometimes we do see that shift as we get into an OT, though. Obviously, they've had 6 rounds prior to this on the attack. They've had plenty of time to get warmed up on there. They are going to be attacking into the basement and once again going for this Monty play. Now, we didn't really see the Monty play work out too well previously.
Do they have a hatch open?
Successful attacking downstairs. O'Kills.
They do good.
Go for a little quick swing. Finds the Monty almost immediately.
The
hatch open into server.
I'm running for
really
Falcons.
Relying on his teammates above to keep good control because as soon as that hatch falls into the hands of BDS, it's going to be very difficult for him to play there. And already he's getting pushed out of server and back further.
Yeah, Adam just doesn't play anymore.
2 BDS players are allowed to rotate through.
Tries to go for a chip headshot or 2 on the way out for a few of those other members of BDS. He's going to set up a bit of a tricky key, but wants to play out against it as well, as I believe they know that at least one player ventured towards the top of blue. No sign of a fallback from that player anytime soon, though. They have a flank overwatch established, but won't work out too well. Alems ends up getting taken down by J-Lad. Joker looking to try and contribute from the bottom portion. The archive stairs, looking for his own way to hop into this, and it's just all going towards the Falcons right now.
Nice.
Shaiko and Breedair, all that's left. The Montaigne has also been lost this early on in the round here. So how exactly do we get back in it? Well, that's not the way. Shaiko getting fended off as Mad Skills continues successfully harassed for the second.
Nice.
Joker still down below in the depths, fends off the last.
You know, one thing that's nice about Falcons too, if you look at their scoreboard, it's pretty even across all players. Like they're all carrying their own weight, like doing well.
Because that guy's an absolute demon. Crowd getting plenty loud enough now for the Falcons as well. So they're going to be on map point again here.
Whereas like BDS is like the Shaiko story.
Maximum overtime. Again, a strange push from BDS, really relying on that Monty player that didn't work in round number 1. No intention of really taking that top floor control and dealing with the hatch. You can't just flood people into server if the hatch is going to be open. And then you're relying on your attackers, and relying on your teammates to then take that top floor
Alems
control.
also.
When you've got 3 people tied up in server, it's often not enough. That's exactly what we saw. BDS going to go downstairs now to see if they can make their stand down here. They have lost a round previously on the defense on this side, but this lineup looks extremely difficult to go up against. They're bringing the Goyo, they've got the Echo, got the Pulse, and of course that smoked. Really dish out.
Of course, obviously when people are getting kills, they're getting supported, but I'm saying for Falcons, they're also joining each other in, and still everyone's pretty much holding their own.
That at least the EU region has to offer us here in Siege. Lots of things to be excited about, but they still need that one final round. Let's see if they can get it. As indeed, we go back into another basement defense from the players on BDS, going to obviously center themselves much more heavily into their basement positions, as we can see.
This is the grand finals, best of 5.
Don't play out too well for the Falcons. Even so, BDS has previously had success to a much better degree inside of regulation by playing things a bit closer to the chest on this site, so they're indeed now double down on that inside. Their final round on it, as of course they'll have the second.
This is BDS map, yeah.
After this with the switching sides.
Infinite OT, I believe.
Falcons taking their time though with the early clear.
But is match point for Falcons if they can pull this off?
Trying to do something a bit chaotic, especially considering what happened at the tail end of regulation.
Well, this is just map 1, so
very, very cognizant in their clear of the second and probably the first floor as well before they begin looking for ways to venture down into the depths.
Probably a good time to bring up that we don't have unlimited overtime.
True.
Oh.
For anyone that's used to the major format, sometimes grand final games do have unlimited overtime. We are just going to be playing straight regulation here. First to 8 inside of a max overtime situation.
There you go. First to 8.
Which is probably fortunate, because this could go on for a very long time if we did have unlimited overtime, given that there's not a great deal separating these two right now. Falcons looking to try and take this one a little bit slower than they have done previously, as are BDS, of course. We haven't seen that same aggressive roam really from a Lems. Lems is instead going to be in and around the site there, looking to make use of Oryx any which way he can and not putting himself out there, risking that early.
They don't even have a Cade anyway.
I can still believe that there's a
But they wouldn't know that. We know that because we can see.
It's evident by that Thatcher EMP grenade that goes out, worried about seeing those get tricked away. Not going to end up happening, though. Not going to see any real mitigation for that whatsoever brought in by the players on BDS, so Falcons will have no issue opening up the hatchwork. Immediately, Mad Skills goes to work here, looking for anyone that might dare to peek out against it. He's going to go a little bit further to the right to be able to find that player from BDS holding into the corner just by gold bars, but they also fall back when Mad Skills finally peeks into it. Ranchiro would have been the one to potentially challenge against that a little bit further down the hallway.
How many Falcons VODs? Probably not a lot. There's not a lot of info on Falcons either.
Ranchiro to strike first, catching J-Lad and eliminating the ace from the attackers here as they look for ways to move down, but so far unsuccessful in that, as BDS is holding strong with this very, very solid bunker setup.
25 seconds left to go is not a great deal of time here. Joe
Nice.
Play in through Garage, a recipe for success that the Falcons
All right.
have already
Traded
seen
it back.
today. Taking out Shaiko takes out a huge linchpin in this entire defense. His kills now do start to
What a great
trade,
shot.
but Alems is going to be there to fight back.
Nice, downed him.
But only just as Mad Skills is going to be down. Joker finished
Nice
off
try.
as well.
This is it. This is for all the
Holds
marbles.
firm downstairs, and we're going all the way.
All the way to our 15th and final round of play for map number 1. BDS has managed to take
Oh yeah,
us that
BDS
far, but
there's a
can
lot
they
of video on.
get the lock-in? This is a map that they'll definitely want to try and take for themselves as well, considering their performance on some of the other maps throughout the course of this series. It'll come down to the wire, though, and the Falcons still going to remain composed as they'll thankfully be able to go back onto a defensive round. Where they take it from here,
Shaiko does want that
clutch
MVP.
success with the second floor hold, but more than likely going to want to probably rely on their open area.
It's
hold.
best of
So
5,
more
Newt.
consistent results coming out from that over the course of the previous play. Let's get into it though and see where exactly they've gone. Is this it? The final round between these two teams for Bank, and indeed they have selected the
Got the
open area
blueberry.
play where they have that freedom to get aggressive, to roam around a bit more. He'll have to watch out, of course, because BDS went for the rush play the last time this was selected, and it worked out well for them. So Falcons are more likely to be keeping a close eye on that and at least keep some of this pressure a bit closer to the site for the first 30 seconds or so while they wait to see what the opening action will be from BDS.
Falcons play really good Siege. They actually play like really slow and measured.
It's far too dangerous to risk a rush on an overtime match point, but you never know, they may just go for it.
Especially on their map takes. On attack, they take so slow and methodically.
The hard breach mantle away from Brede as Brede switches over onto the Zephyr, Rafal the Hibana. They were threatening Adobe, they were threatening
Fuse.
the Lion, but they have thought better of it. They've gone for something a little bit.
Fuse is a good choice.
Ranchiro still rocking his
You get the LMG, you get fuse charges, you get hard breaching gadgets,
all that much just yet.
or breaching charges if you decide to take those.
Sure, at least going to establish this crossfire going deeper into copier, and of course open area through that, going directly through a break room. That will will also find from the top of one of the skylights here a little bit of it as well.
Is it actually for 2 million as a title of troll? No, it is really for 2 million. And that's just for Rainbow Six. It's a $15 million tournament in total.
And indeed, we'll see a much more composed BDS this round compared to the previous assault on this site. To be hunting down some of the more aggressively lean members of the Falcons here, but
So Mr. Flaws.
great intel into where exactly they position themselves just yet. They're a little out of reach too, focusing mainly on that elevator hold, which we're going to see Rafal open up a window of access to now. Launching drone from the garage side, repel. They'll use the drone.
Is
to
TSM in this
reconfirm
tournament?
this
Yeah, they got
player
knocked
to
out.
Rotate out and go somewhere else. This will also give Lems the confidence he needs to swing in.
Yeah,
They've
it's
isolated some of the
so it's
play from
15
Mad
million
Skills.
total.
The elevator player has also given things up here. They'll fall
It's
down
15 million
hatchback
total
down
over
to
like a
the
bunch of different
below.
games. Rainbow
Give
Six
BDS that
individually is
second
2
sword
mil.
control they need.
The prize pool for the tournament is 1.2 million for like prize money, but there's like bonus categories. So there's bonus categories like you get you know, like for example, there's like MVP gets like 100K, most kills gets 25K. I think each of the teams get like 100K for like just for coming to the tournament. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is not looking good.
Mad Skill's gonna be the only defender left alive. He's ripping down the castle barricade, trying to get himself back into sight, but he's 1 versus 5. There's a whole minute on the clock.
Gonna try to go adventurous here as he rotates around, has hot pings onto a few players. BDS, you can see them trying to make it panic, but no, it's not.
Nice try, nice try.
Forward, closes things down, and BDS are able to recover as things look scary for a few moments there, but they
TSM won invite, but that was 6 months ago.
They were able to close things out after dropping the first round in OT. They rebound with the next two.
No, I want Falcons to win. Cherry 7 life of the 8 months. Hope play this street, everyone. Thank you. Hopefully this for you too.
BDS really showing that experience there inside of that game. Not looking to let anything slip. As soon as they needed to, they put on that gas. They were able to come back there on what was quite a difficult bank.
Map number 1 has closed down, but let's head back down to our desk, see what they think of the map, and get ourselves ready as map number 2 is coming up right around the corner.
Thank you very much, Blue and X, and yet it's happened. BDS to take it to Max OT and take map number 1.
Shaiko's going crazy, yeah. Shaiko knows that there's like a $25,000 bonus. I swear. So there's a $100,000 bonus for MVP and $25K bonus for most kills. That man wants it.
With me are Jack and Tristan. Let's take a look at some highlights for the series brought to you by Aramco, one of our many sponsors at Gamers8. And gentlemen, just want to ask you.
The Invitational is like the biggest tournament for Rainbow Six, like prestige-wise. It's like the Super Bowl, I guess, right? So there's like Invite, there's Majors, there's Pro League Finals, and there's Minors. So like technically, I guess this would be kind of like a minor, but like this is a bigger tournament than like the minor is. I'm sorry, than the major is. That's coming up in like 8 days or whatever. Like there's a bigger prize pool. Wow. It's kind of hard to categorize this tournament. I feel like it's its own thing.
He gets the 4K in the last round, and we were speaking about it before the map. Do you get rid of the Nook or do you get rid of the Finker? I don't think Falcons made the wrong decision, but they just played against.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, you gotta almost make like a
when we saw those bands,
secondary like tournament level for this, maybe. I would say like,
honestly, if you're looking
I don't know, maybe just I would consider it like an S tier tournament potentially if you're doing like that type of thing.
Yeah, I think the result when you look back and see the BDS won the map is expected.
Like you could say like, oh, this is like an S tier tournament, but it's a major is a major, invite is invite. Like there's specific definitions of those. But I guess it's like a, I don't know, I'd consider it like a high level. I don't know, it's tough to categorize, I guess. C Skizzy, thank you for getting this up to Laughing Man, Marine Racer, Hyrule Defender, Zachary, and Jack Ogre Leaf. Welcome to all 5 of you. If you're lucky enough to get this up from Skizzy, thanks Skizzy in the chat, and then link up your Ubisoft account and Twitch account with exclamation point. Thank you, Rich. I still can't believe he won that round. That was crazy. I thought that was gonna break BDS.
Like about those downstairs attacks, where they started to focus on Shaiko, who was playing Pulse in Garage, which is an incredibly difficult position to play as Pulse.
SI is 3 million spread between 20 teams, while the 2 million in Gamers8 is spread between 8 teams. Yes.
But yeah, you're absolutely right, Fresh. I don't think they'll be too disappointed about that. They'll be upset that they've not won. But yeah,
like it's hard to categorize because like there's 8 teams in this tournament compared to like Invite is like 20 teams, right? But like the prize pool is really big and the production is really like big for this.
It's just a shame they couldn't see it out.
Like, I don't know. It's just tough to say. I would just, like I said, I would consider it like, I feel like you can't really categorize. It doesn't like fit any other category. I'm chilling, Skidzy. We're just chilling, watching games. Unfortunately, Falcons lost the first map, but best of 5, so.
There's a lot of confidence. They've pushed BDS all the way to 15 rounds. Sure, it didn't go their way.
BDS, historically speaking, gets like they do like their mental will get chalked.
8-7 BDS versus Falcons. Alems continues on his streak of success in the tournament. Fresh.
He's not been spoke about enough, I don't think. We've obviously spoke about Shaiko, and again Shaiko in that last round. You know, he makes things happen. He's the round winner. But
Shaiko raged at Brid last SI.
He's unleashed. You know, he was a player that through stage 1, stage 2 of this year has took on a lot more responsibility, but has basically kind of restricted himself in his personal performance. And they've come out to this tournament and they've basically unleashed him. They've said, play what you feel, play a little bit lurky, you know, play in that backstab position. There was one round where we saw him just inside, playing very solo and for himself. And statistically and impact-wise, he's having a massive impact.
Some pro players were like talking some smack about the tournament. Well, you know
free
why
and
those
just
teams
see
are
behind
right.
fire rate
It's
gun.
because they're
But
just
it didn't
like
think
let's be
operates
like
to choose
completely
people in
honest.
back.
They're
I think
salty
his
they didn't
game
get
sense, being a
invited.
player who's traditionally
Realistically,
IGL,
right?
moving him onto that kind of role, I think has been perfect for him this event. Whether we continue to see it or it's just the streak.
I mean,
of amazing
realistically, that's
performances
what
from
it
him,
comes
we're yet
down to.
see.
They're salty
But
they didn't get
it's
invited.
not just that he's lurking, he's shooting people in back. He's constantly getting entry kills. I think he's up there right now with Shaiko for entries on BDS, which is something we've never seen.
It's pretty impressive for your IGL to also be top of your team in terms of entry kills, also when it's definitely not their position to be doing it. But
Right, they're definitely
the
just
sentiment that we're
salty.
looking
They
for
get
in the quality
like,
of game from
I think the
BDS. Thanks
teams
so
that
much,
got
gentlemen. We're
invited
gonna
got
take
like
a quick break.
100K,
When we come back, we'll continue on
plus
with our best
there's
of
like
5
a
series.
huge prize
Villa
pool.
is up next. We'll see you in a minute.
Plus, like I heard, like at least from what I've seen on like Twitter and stuff, the accommodations that they have for them are like crazy.
تعالى لي ملوك الصين دي انا ملخصه في سطور بس مين يقرا فاهم كلام الشارع ده انا هرشه كل المجال حبايبي بروز
وانا كاكازوكو مصدع ايه القي نظره لو على الحلاوه عندي كاستر والاسم
عفرت يا عفرت هتفضل معفرتها ولا ايه يا برو
انت مين يا هو ازاي ده دخل هنا يا جدعان
نكسر الدنيا الاول وبعدين نتكلم نعيد من الاول
لا 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 مش مسجل
اخواتي
عشان فاهمين السين سبوتيفاي عمل لك بلاي ليست الاقوى راب مصري اسمع ملوك السين ببلاش.
Yeah. I don't know, BD, yeah, I guess basically the moral of the story is like, yeah, like old Empire, I would agree with you 100% that their mental was like so strong. Those guys could get like 1v5'd and like lose a map, like they could lose like literally 7 1v5s in a row and then like recompose themselves the next round or map or whatever it is and be fine. BDS is not like that generally. I mean, obviously like they lost that one clutch, you know, that O-Kills had, but like they were able to recompose themselves, but like traditionally speaking, like BDS gets tilted for sure. Like you could see it like in their games when they play. If they like lose like a big important round or something. They had a 1-6 comeback against Empire. Yeah, the Empire truly did have like absolutely unshakable like mental game. I've never seen a team like Empire just able to like not rage. Like if they like this is like old Empire. This is Empire if they win around. This is Empire if they lose around. This is Empire if they get a 1v5 clutch. This is Empire if they lose a 1v5 clutch. This is Empire if they win a tournament. They're just like, dude, they're just chilling. Those guys have the strongest mental I've ever seen. No, they showed no emotion.
We're one up for BDS, our European squad versus Falcons, the hometown Saudi heroes, here live in Riyadh at Gamers8, and we continue on with our action. I'm Elish, your host. With me are Twister and Tristan. Now, Fresh has gone into the backstage.
If you watch their
for just
vlog
a
at SI
moment. Don't you
2020
worry
for getting
about it,
group
but
by
we got
Fanatics,
more
some of
to
them
break
actually
down.
cried at
Villa
least
is
Dan
map
did.
number 2, and it's on Falcons.
It's on Preston.
to play
It's on
for
Fredo.
retake here, Twister.
This map would be probably
Yeah, I
the
don't
most
know.
insane map that we'll see on this entire series. Villa being played yesterday for Falcons, it was the map that actually did.
At least on stage, they
into
show very
this
little
fight.
emotion, at least.
So probably with the abilities that they could come back on this map, it showed that they are very comfortable on playing any style on this way.
Yeah, I'd say as well, sort of a win condition for them on Villa here. We've got to see O-Kills go crazy again, because every single time we've seen him on Villa, this guy has been like insanely good. We need to see it again. Shaiko outshone him last map, but I'm sure he won't let that hit him too much, and he's going to bounce straight back.
Now, one thing that BDS have to consider is the fact that they're starting defense on Villa, which we've known is usually the comfortable side, but it's not been out of the ordinary to see, you know, an even half, a 3-3 for defense attack, or
Imagine if they raised the way that I did.
Doesn't seem like it's the same way 5-1 in
Actually, believe it or not, though, it's really weird. When I play competitively, it's like very different.
We'll be back to break things down right after.
Like when I play like competitively, I'm actually very calm.
On the other side of this camera.
Because generally the reason that I'm like raging like a maniac when I play ranked is because, well, generally we're either playing cheaters, people that are Q sniping, stream sniping, like just general degeneracy, teammates that are throwing, team killing, uncoordinated gameplay of the most basic like caliber not getting like done. Whereas none of that is like a thing, you know, when you're playing competitively.
Comes off the tongue nice.
I'm surprised it's taken this long, really, for Milich. I'm almost a little bit disappointed now, knowing that he had that one in the locker. Maybe he was saving it for Grand Finals Day, because that is exactly where we are. We're about to head into map number 2 now. Map, of course, will be Villa. A map that Falcons have really proved themselves on throughout the entirety of Gamers8.
I should be a coach? No. Oh, by the way, Flaws, I don't know if you're here. Are you here, Flaws?
From one map behind. Now, it is a best of 5 Grand Finals with no map advantage.
You didn't rage a lot back when you first started the stream? True. True. I blame you yesterday for us getting stream sniped that game. By the way, did you see what I put in the friends chat? I ended up smoking those guys the next game.
Getting removed there. Falcons, they're still going to go with the Nook ban. Now, I don't think the Nook ban necessarily has as much value on a map like
4 of those people went from silver to champ. The crazy thing was, that one dude was like, he randomly came in my chat, and he was a Twitch partner. That wasn't Flaws' fault. Flaws is like, Flaws, you hide your picture and put it on stream mode? No. And then like the guy comes in chat and asks what server we're on, and Flaws tells him exactly what server we're on.
Second time in a row. Good possibility.
It's not his fault, I swear, it's not his fault. He's those guys knew what they were doing. They knew they had their head on the brain anyway. They were gonna do it either way.
Take what you're saying to heart and start to second guess the Nook ban. The Valkyrie, though, will more than likely stay and play as long as we go to maps where she can be quite useful. So let's get ourselves into round number 1, as it's going to be BDS on the attack.
No, but yeah, dude, that was so... I wonder if that Twitch account is like even that dude's Twitch account.
Well, for Falcons starting off on the defense, especially after with the way that map 1 went. They are going to want that more comfortable side to really try and give themselves...
I actually wonder because, dude, that one guy...
Oh, it's actually the other way around.
Yeah.
Oh, BDS get
that one guy was
well, hopefully it's right. I'm sure
what's it called?
BDS starting things off on
the one guy that he like, okay, so basically there's this dude, I don't know who he was, evidently a Twitch partner. So he comes in my chat and like puts like he like asks what server I'm on. And
is becoming a little bit too much.
Like I like ignore him basically, and then he calls me like, he's like, how have you been playing this game for so long and you're like ass or something like that. I'm like, okay, like what a weirdo. So I just like timed him out. So the next game that we end up playing, he's in our game with the exact same name as the Twitch name. But the weird thing is like when I looked at like the Twitch account, because like I looked at it after. Like, so he's supposedly he's never streamed before. He has no social media presence at all whatsoever, but somehow has 50,000 followers. I don't know. That seems really weird. I wonder if he like bought or stole that Twitch account potentially, or maybe he just like, I don't know. Maybe he has a following somewhere else or something. But it was weird too, like, the previous games that have been streamed were like Fortnite, not Siege.
Potentially adventuring towards one of those openings and coming out of the losing end of a fight there. He'll be down at about 20 HP as a result of that.
I'm not trying to got a call on some unfortunate time in walking past a window or something like that as it was getting pre-fired open.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems weird that somebody would like, when you look up the name on the Twitch account, like Google it, there's literally no like history of this person existing like ever, like anywhere.
Really assist him on
But it's a
that
partnered account. That was what was weird, and it had only played Fortnite before.
Now, I imagine that's what we're going to get to eventually once the
People
information
steal
has
Twitter
been
accounts. Wouldn't
gathered.
surprise you if people
They
pulled
do have
Twitch
plenty of
accounts.
nades in pocket. We're gonna see
Probably, or
what's
maybe he
going
bought
on
it or
there.
something. Or who knows? Maybe it's his account. I guess you never know.
Baby,
But it's like weird. Like anybody who was like actually a Twitch partner, like in like
For a nade, he does have a
they
couple
wouldn't
holes to play
like.
with,
It's
so
just
could
like
as
kind of
well,
like a
like,
weird
throw
thing to
off
do,
through
I
the
guess.
gaps.
Meet
First
you, they
kill
the
is
17
gonna go
months,
onto a
right?
lens.
Like you
Takes
wouldn't.
J-Lad down. Joker
I don't know.
still
It would just be like a very like
takes
weird thing
nades.
to
He's gonna
do.
deal a little bit of damage there. They are going to go for quite a quick push here as they do remove the Banshee and look to charge up those main stairs.
Joker.
Nice.
Able to take nice contest
Second
here.
one.
Nearly gets himself a second against the Lems as well. The first one unsuccessful to knock out Renshiro. O'Kill's here trying to contend back against the main stage.
They have good
play as well.
control.
They've been able to clear that back out.
Renshiro's down.
Also, but
Or
not
sorry,
gonna be able
dead.
to get
Shaiko's
confirmation off of him
down.
just yet. Potential possibility for him to get res, but more than likely not going to happen anymore. He's off on an island here, and I think his teammates realize that that potential nade was going to be coming from below at any moment, so they don't even try to go for the pickup against him here. Another pickup going to be found from Joker.
He probably stole the account and switched the name. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Nicely controlled by him on this
It seemed
avenue.
weird because like when I like
Continued to
looked
push
it up,
forward
like
now
the
with
account had
full control
evidently
over the
streamed
bar. That
Fortnite a
should
few
be a play
times,
opportunity for Kotos,
but
who
never
wants to come in and take the
Siege.
position behind the
Yeah,
bar
this person
itself.
was
Might not
silver
even need
last
to, though.
season on their
Kotos is
Twitch
spreading out
account,
right now. He's
and they were
found Revolve.
champion.
Everything has fallen to Brede here. He gets one off the SMG 11.
Come on,
at
get
least,
him. He's
but
low
3 more
HP.
players to
Easy,
go.
easy
He can also
dubs.
try to delay this to the timer, but more than likely not so
Yeah,
anymore.
anyway, it was
Kotos
definitely like
finally
an
committing
odd.
himself to the interior for the plant. Brede will not have an angle to stop him, and the timer will start ticking in the other direction. However,
Shots.
Brede had a hope for a moment there, but ultimately just going to be traded out after he kills the planter. The Falcons take solid control over round number 1.
Slow and steady wins the race there for Falcons. They took their time taking that main stairs.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to.
Down to a burst of aggression.
Yeah, that one's like an
Around the
interesting one
mid-round to really dominate that
for
area.
sure. I don't know, whatever.
Fantastic use of the nades from below as well, making short work of players like Shaiko and really removing the
Who
ability to sit
knows?
inside to
People
force some
are.
of those defenders.
All that I could
Falcons get
say
away with a nice
about the
round
Siege
there
community
on this attacking side.
at high level ranked
Being
on
able to force
PC,
the
they are
side
strange
change, though.
birds.
BDS are in fact
They are
gonna
some
move over to
strange
trophy and
birds.
statuary. Opting against that aviator in the games room hold and going to stick to their
Falcons, they're like actually they're a pretty big. They're actually a really big org. They're based in Saudi Arabia. So yeah, I mean, and their siege team is great. Like I don't know. I really like watching them play. I really do.
Against the Falcons, just way too conjoined as a unit, which is a bit of a far cry from what we had generally been tending to see on the previous map. So good to see that extra bit of
I
variety
really
coming out of the
do.
Falcons here right at the start of the second map. We'll have to see how this continues to evolve as well. They will have to
They
sort
have.
themselves
I
out.
really love.
Obviously, there's going to be a bit of an extension deployed, but
I really love
by BDS,
watching.
you see Renshiro,
Like if you'll see how they take again. So they take very slow and methodical. They actually don't. So they have their own region, and they're not allowed. They don't play in like pro league, majors, whatever, invitational. They should. They should though. Fly by Fly is taking 3 months though. 24-month resub. 2 years. 2 years of the mauling Pogs. The event is so far very good. Yes, it is good.
Do have the Nomad in play this time as well.
I do. Yeah. I mean, I think they should be. I think they should be included in pro league.
Very difficult angle to play on the Astro window. Not an easy
think
angle
they
to
should.
really challenge onto. You're often dealing with players that have got C4s inside of Astronomy or behind the desk. As such, O'Keill's just going to take his time working that angle. Shaiko could look for some aggression here, though. He's got himself deep into the window.
Ooh,
Great shot from
what a
Shaiko.
shot, dude.
Barely got fully ADS before he rips off the head.
Beautiful trace from Shaiko too. You could see it there. Had perfect prediction of the movement from that Falcons player. So Koto's not even going to know what hit him. As the second he peeks out against it,
That's your type of shot. Flaws, you wouldn't hit that in your dreams, bud.
Now with the deficit, a lot to make up for. J-Lad going to try to chuck a nade in, see if late with anything just to take out some utility. I do believe though, waiting out on the other side of the hop in here for the connector. Away from that, it's actually going to be a bit open for the taking if he'd like to go for it here, but would have to watch out for the crossfire from Brede.
Payne,
A few of the other players
where's
who'd
Payne,
want to
by the way?
venture
Is he
further
sleeping?
past that window's opening. You can see Mad Skill still clearing things out over here towards the
30-year-old
portion
POV.
of the
Listen,
first
dude.
floor. And oh no, that's way too bold of a play here from O'Kills. Tries to go directly for the hop in on walk-in. Shaiko more than ready for that
Listen,
challenge.
dude.
Shuts down a second
Okay,
member
I
of the
might be
Falcons.
old,
Rostered
but I
out
know what's
with
up.
J-Lad, Mad Skills, and Joker.
Shaco is making it look easy to keep control of Master Bedroom there. He's picked himself up 2 great kills. Madskill's going to get himself in below.
Do I miss Pain? No, I just want to make sure he's as far away as possible. That'd be great. You think you're his caretaker? Well, I figured he has to have one.
And collects himself another. Falcons, they got themselves into the 2 versus 2, but it doesn't look well. Madskills knows it doesn't matter. Still gets the shutdown onto a Lems. Rafal now trying to go these Astro stairs.
Could be one. Thrown over there too, so they know where he is.
To shut him down. Gets a glimpse of Joker as
oh! 1v1.
The 1 versus 1 here. Rafal,
they had a drone there. He was looking the wrong way. No one probably got on that drone in time.
Momentarily. Does still have a couple of nades to play with here. Could look to try and nade out.
Oh, he's gonna get peeked. 3, 2.
Caught with a nade in his hand. Pre-fires out. Does have the diffuser in pocket and 20 seconds to play with. Both players very low here. Dicey time. Madskills still convinced that the player is inside of Astronomy, as instead getting patiently waiting there, just inside a Wolf.
Struggle for Falcons as they were so close to closing it out. Certainly going to be a momentum breaker for them. But
yeah, they had that.
Take that one. Definitely got a little bit scrappy towards the end of it. You can even see our player from the Falcons that had decided to move up through Astro stairs and continue to clear things out. Had a flank set out against him. That was the last player alive for BDS as well, but just unable to catch up with the pacing here of the push coming in from the Falcons. And as a result, sent us in that very
they had a cam there too. Was anybody on it? I didn't look.
Ended up in, considering the 2 opening kills, the Chaiko got for free while holding on the inside of the 2 master rooms. Either way, though, it ties us up at 1-1. BDS now going to look to try and take the lead as they'll go for their second defense of AVG.
It's hard to tell what went wrong last time when BDS defended Aviator in games, because the main stairs had all the utility you would need to hold
it. It is Mr. Flaws.
Somehow the Falcons just brute forced their way up. I mean, even the Gon 6 got caught.
This is the first time a coach makes it to an international event final? Maybe.
It wasn't a very
I can't think of another time where a coach has made finals.
Falcons, but somehow they managed to make it work. It was in part due to the pressure that they had inside of study at the same time, and kind of the
everything getting back in the process as a coach. Nope. I don't want to like. I just like just chilling. The only thing that I like to, I just like content creation. It's better for me. You gotta remember, dude. Especially now, like I'm old.
For me, it was the
one-sided very ancient.
Not only clear out the stairs position, which I agree with you on.
Well, I mean, in all seriousness, like I have a lot of family obligations. I have a wife, baby. The rest of my family, extended family, stuff like that. We always have stuff going on. House, I gotta take care of, all that kind of good stuff that comes with it. So it's like it's it's like tough to. It's a tough proposition to like. Because at least in otherwise I have to like move to Las Vegas, right? If I coach or something.
We did have defense put up from BDS last time, specifically a Lems, if memory serves me correct.
Plus, I just prefer. I don't really like the idea of coaching. I don't want to be a coach, analyst, whatever, anything like that. Traded on land.
Shaiko and J-Lad both go down. This is an even exchange to send us into a 4v4 at the beginning of this round.
Not a bad start from your Ash player, Crouch walking their way into the map.
Yeah, I mean, it works out really well as a streamer because, I mean, I stream from home. I get to, chill. I could stream, play, or co-stream, like in this example, and watch games in chat. So it's nice. Like, it works out really well. I don't know, the only thing I'd probably do is, like, maybe be a content creator for a team, but they would have to... So the problem is, it's almost worked out a few times where I'd be, like, a content creator for a team. But it hasn't worked out because, for whatever reason, there's like a few, generally, so this is the thing, like I have my own sponsors, so like I'm not giving up my own sponsors. Oh, that timing. I'm not giving up my sponsors, right? So, I make more money from having my own sponsors individually than being under an org. Nice. Plus, I just like the companies that I work with. I like their products a lot. I don't want to be forced to use products from other companies that I don't like as much or whatever. I mean, not that they're probably bad, but just
not for lack of anything to do though. He's got the yellow ping and he's gonna sink a beautiful up nade here against Renshiro. Setting up the Falcons.
But anyway, yeah. So that'd be
closeout now via trades. They're going to be a
let's kind of
because the lower HP
So,
sitting
you know, like
on
basically the
Oak
org would have to let me keep
Still
my own
running down to a
sponsors,
3 versus 2
and
here.
I,
Should
you know,
give the
kind of
team
like keeping the
aggressive
categories
capability they need
open.
to
That
swing in. Kotos gets the
basically I wouldn't
intel
want to
on
take any of their
Lem's position. He
sponsors,
won't be able
so
to
there's not a
maintain
lot
it
of
as a
ways for
result
them
of
to
that
really make
falling
money,
back.
so it never
They do
really
have the
works
cone
out.
stations deep inside of
Plus,
Bar,
like,
but
I mean, I know
relatively
my value.
exposed. Played by Alems gets one, nearly goes for a second one, but Mad Skills as well gonna be taken down, and Alems to chain together. That
Nice try,
final
nice
frag,
try.
BDS get it done in the 2v3, and they pick up the
Oh,
round
predictions,
instead
my
now
bad.
to take the lead at 2-1.
Alems is unflappable. There is nothing that phases this guy. He's in such a bad situation. All he's got to work with is the door inside of Vault. Still able to pick up 2 kills, gives the space to Brede to land a perfect Toxic Babe canister to shut down the player that was attempting the plants as well. Very patient round from BDS, just saying, look, you're going to play into us here.
The nice part about being a content creator for an org is they just pay you money, and like you don't have to like worry about anything. Like it's like really easy in that perspective. So like for me, I do a lot of stuff off stream that you guys never see, but I mean it's worth it, and you know, make more money because of it, and I get to work with the companies that I want to work with directly, and I have a personal relationship with them.
Things start to struggle a little bit for the defense because they're forced into extending themselves much more aggressively towards the second floor to be able to waste out time. We've of course seen the sledge play previously from the Falcons, and it would be the most
it's all
useful
personal
here.
preference,
It'll
like whatever
open up
anyone
those
wants to
top downs,
do.
so of course we'll see it replicated.
Anyway, yeah, it never really
Change
works
up
out
to
though
its
for that
odds,
reason,
specifically
because
as
like
J-Lad have to play over
generally they'll be like,
towards
okay, well, like
We
you
did
can't
have
take any of
mad
their
skills
sponsors, so they offer me
advancing
like
for this
X amount of
operator a little bit
dollars
earlier
plus
on
like whatever
side of those
requirements.
rounds here. So important
So,
job for him
and then
as the
normally it's
squad
just not
will
worth
proceed
it
as
because
normal.
like,
The focus to
you
initially
know,
clear things out near Master.
being under what, like, you know, ooh, the wall bang.
Right into the fray himself, catches a very adventurous Ren Shiro over on the cross. And as a result,
How many turns
Falcons
BS
strike
won?
first again here, round number 4.
It's a horrible angle to die from if someone hops up onto that small garage
0.
building outside, gets on the roof. It's a great line of sight. A little pre-fire is all it takes to catch somebody off guard. Renshiro,
Being under an org, it depends on like every contract is different. I mean, generally, like normally the way it works is it's just like it's easier to be under an org. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Like, let's just say like an org has like, I don't know, sponsors, right? They have a drink sponsor, they have I don't know, a sponsor for monitor, mouse, keyboard, computers, whatever, like the things that I have, right? So generally what they do for that is they will just give the person, so they just give the person like a paycheck every month, like a flat, generally, right? I mean, it could always be different, but it's like a flat fee. So they'll just say like, we'll give you X amount of dollars per month. Well, instead of doing that, like, I mean, you know, I'd rather just have my own sponsors and make way more money than just get like a flat amount of money, I guess.
Getting that lucky spot of one of the members of BDS sitting on their phones. They'll be able to spot them as
Mr. Cool, take the 10 months.
Pulse now sitting down below. This is going to be an intense battle here, as of course the defense will want to be able to play out with that info.
You mean in the Middle East deserve that for like, well, they have their own league, but yes, they should be included in like actual pro league, like majors and invite and all that kind of stuff.
With these breaching charges, they'll at least be able to try and hunt out a few more of these guys. With that avenue being opened up, but so far no success on the top downs from the Falcons.
You want to see an accounting stream? I actually just pay somebody to do that.
And, well, patience is being a virtue here for O-Kills as he shuts down Alems when he gets a bit too adventurous crawling forward. Some utility to be taken care of. So the nade will roll out there to knock that out. And now we'll see the Gemini go in to get a better picture of what
yeah, but I mean, different orgs have different agreements. It's like it's just different for everything, I guess.
For BDS, Rafal can jump in the scanner to see if he can find out where this push is coming from, but he's gonna have the gun in his hand instead. Grabbing one onto O-Kills. Kotos battles back, but he's in the 1 versus 2. 25 seconds left to go. Gonna hit the drop and look to make his entry.
He can get this 1v2.
Doesn't seem to be working off too much information here. He's not that confident on which way he ought to be going.
It's a good tournament. It's an excellent tournament. If you've been watching the games so far, the games have been great.
As he looks to try and pre-fire on into the site. 9 seconds to go, and he needs to try and line these 2 kills up if he's hoping to come away with the round. But the time is likely
2 seconds. NT.
Here, but not before Shaiko can pad those stats with another one.
Excellently played here. Some consistency starting to show up, especially on the defensive end of it now from BDS, as they're not Those same mistakes we saw earlier on, able to
I think honestly Falcons should take a timeout.
At least when they are losing players,
they should take a timeout here, slow it down a little bit.
Able to pull them back a bit more prominently into the site and survive.
If they need a little bit just to chill, slow down BDS's momentum.
Coming out from the Falcons, but not nearly enough for them to be able to leverage victory. So BDS going to start to take a bit more of a commanding lead inside of this map. 3-1 so far over the Falcons. Looking to take that a few steps further as well. Might be a good time to see the Falcons take a pause as well if they wanted to go for it.
You're doing some renovations, Newt? What kind of renovations, bud?
As well. We'll have to see if they decided to make that decision here.
It's worth noting that round was essentially 4 versus 5.
This is a good tournament for pro players. Oh yeah, dude.
And not letting that first opening pick.
I mean, at least from what I've seen, like obviously I'm not there in person, but the stage is incredible, the production's incredible. I mean, all the pro players were like showing all the practice facilities and stuff that they had. The rooms were sick. Snacks, big practice rooms, all set up really nice.
In anyone really shutting down anybody inside of the site. Not really working out as planned for the Falcons. I can only assume we are in a technical pause here.
Yeah, definitely.
I imagine that it's going to be the Falcons that have taken it just to give themselves 45 seconds to really discuss how they want to move forward on this last round of the attack. And of course, how they want to then translate that onto the defense here on Villa.
At the tail end of it, though, so we'll head back into the game now, where it's going to be
pass up on
another
free food.
defense as BDS has unlocked this site for play. Mind you, of course, if you weren't here for the earlier rounds, they managed to win trophy first, then went for a second try onto AVG. So that's why you're going to see them go into this site first on the rerun as well. We'll also be able to venture back towards AVG, of course. Should Falcons have a winning strategy to course correct for this upcoming round, we are going to see a few small changes come into the lineup to make things a bit easier for them, most notably the Nomad coming out for Kotos to try to watch out for more adventurous members of BDS that have been creeping up on these Falcons clears every once in a while. Aside from that,
I mean, this is a separate event completely.
The way that we've seen it previously, most notably their mad skills back.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I was talking about. Like, it's hard to categorize this event really because it's like the production quality is probably the best that I've seen. Period in Rainbow Six. The stage is probably the best. Prize pool is massive. There's 8 teams. Some of the other events have more teams. Like it's I don't know. It's like it's its own category. I'd say it's like an S tier event, but not. Like I feel like you can't consider it like invite because well invite's invite.
Really take any meaningful control of master bedroom. Shaiko ruled the roost in this.
Yeah, there should be stats on like Wikipedia and stuff. Pretty much anything you would want. Any team.
Effort to take immediate control here, inserting O-kills quite early on.
This is what I was talking about, by the way, too, chat. You know, I was saying that. Like, watch how Falcons is like droning and slowly taking map control. So they have someone at window so that no one pushes up here on bathroom. He went out. He's probably like I would be freaking out about that soft while you can get wall banged. But if they were droning ahead, they can actually take Astra. They don't actually know that though because well they don't have the X-ray like we do. But actually, well, Brid is he's right on the rotate, so he could peek there. But if you run through bathroom door, you can just pre-fire rotate or cook a nade and chuck it over there.
Sort of aggressive swing from BDS, but you guys at home can tell from the silhouette, it's not going to be a whole lot moving out from BDS inside of that area. They remain nice, cool, calm, and collected. Even there, see a potential swing come out, but not a full commitment from Shaiko or anyone else on this squad. Shaiko got a little unlucky there with that damage, but he is able to avoid the most of it. Still, though, the intel comes out for the Falcons. They'll know that a player is going to be locked in the statuary corner, but it's the long-term game.
They're actually going to do it. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. But they got to go quicker, though. That's the only thing.
Electric claws here, but so far Bride just striking true against
nice.
Joker though, able to make up for that, is allowed to go to the very edge of the master
so here's
Brid. He picks up the trade against Red Shiro.
Bride's got a difficult job here keeping control of Astro, and he's likely not going to be able to do it. Joker's going to push himself down.
Oh, nice try.
The SMG-11 there, superior at close range, and Bride.
So they got collapsed on basically this round because they could still win. Very winnable. But
it is for the most part going to be unsuccessful as he is immediately downed. Everything now resting on Mad Skills' shoulders. BDS still occupying the area inside of Astro as Manticles crouches forward.
So the thing that made that hard is like they needed to go faster. Like once they had that opportunity on Astro, they could have just pushed it fast, but because they took a little while, it gave BDS time to rotate back over.
To get this round done. 7 seconds left on the clock. Immediately getting stuck into the goo mine. That's the audio cue that Brede needs for his third on the round.
NC.
Rafal picking up the last. We've not seen many rounds go out.
Rafal was holding the stairs perfectly.
Those final kills.
Definitely the case, and it's in large part due to the composure we see from BDS inside of that round. We have seen it time and time again, both inside of this map and back on Bank, that they want to be aggressive, they want to try and challenge out the members of Falcons early on, but that hasn't necessarily been the winning formula here on this map. So this time, they take a nice patient hold, especially after the first kill is claimed for themselves. Let Falcons make all the mistakes because we have all the territory, and Falcons are really only relying on those 1 to 2 pushing angles and really getting their kind of prep.
I wonder if they get, I mean, I haven't seen a timeout taken yet. They should take a timeout and regroup.
Interior site positioning to get them a lot of kills, and that's exactly how they're able to negotiate.
BDS has all the momentum right now.
Down to those final seconds of play.
Could be about to see a 5-1 here on Villa. That would be very, very damning for the Falcons, given that this is their map. This is a map
and Rafal are the only players with Cade with an angle grip.
On this map already.
I don't really see the point of angle grips in the current meta. You don't really get much of a recoil benefit. Like the recoil benefit's not there for the amount of time that you ADS, because they slowed down the angle grips like significantly, and they made the recoil like heavier over like the last 2 updates. So I don't really see a point in angled grips, but it's personal preference. You know, some people like them. That's it. He's probably gonna try to catch someone on rappel. I hate when people do this. I'm not gonna lie.
He's got the impacts in hand. He's instead just looking for a cheap kill.
Woo!
The one part of the barricade that he didn't punch out there, unfortunately, is going to be the exact position that Joker repels up towards. So Shaco just sitting there with question marks hovering over his head, unfortunately, as the unlucky physics just did not play out into his favor to be able to spot.
Yeah. Like I used to use Cade angle grip. Angle grip used to be the logical decision for like, you know, pretty much any gun out there. It's not anymore though. Like now, I think the logical choice is to take the vertical grip, because the angled grip and the vertical grip have almost the same ADS time. It's like very similar, very similar. But the recoil is there's way more randomized horizontal recoil with a angled grip than a vertical grip. The only guns I still run like angled grip on are like, I don't know, like Yang, maybe like Lion. Operators where you like really are capitalizing off of like that extra ADS time, and those guns also don't have that much recoil anyway. I mean, Lion with a vertical grip is better, but same with Yang, but it's not that noticeable of a difference. I feel like Yang's gun still ADS is really fast with an angled grip. I don't know why. Maybe for LMGs it's different, the timing, ADS timing.
Joker ready to start moving himself forward. Has reached the threshold of death's door. This is always where that execute halts. You need that secondary angle to push in, whether it's going to be support coming in from Study. More than likely not going to see that happening too strong of a degree here for the Falcons. They just don't have the player presence in that portion of the map. We could still see some action build up over towards 90 to build up with JLad and try to pinch things out over towards the bar door, and that may end up being
Can't see his head there.
So we can already see O'Kill's position towares that. He's going to try to position himself right up on top of this hatch in case
get an 8 under right now. That's a double if he wants. If he won't
yield visuals against the members of BDS.
He won't know if anyone's actually there or not, though.
Of one of the players sitting above this yellow ping, unfortunately, going to be way off mark, so not going to be able to spot much from that. 0 damage done to the players on BDS.
They're all like crawling on top of the pool tables and stuff. I hate this site for grenading underneath. Done spooky. I was talking about this yesterday because there was like a ton of grenade kills to the floor. What do you guys think about like having grenades do like 50 damage to the floor?
BDS with a kill onto J-Line.
or
The plan was beginning to take
making the
break,
radius
but
much
immediately
smaller
stopped.
for grenades.
Madskill's pushing his
Right
way
now,
in, will be the next player to
grenades are
fall
basically like miniature
down, as
nuclear
well
bombs,
as
right?
Protoss is going to try and lock in that plant. He's
NT.
likely going to be the only player standing. A desperate pre-fire
NT,
there
NT.
from Bride, sees the job done as BDS.
I feel like
Falcons
nades are like
in,
miniature
then
nuclear
lock 'em
bombs
out.
right now when you're
once
throwing
again,
them
it's
from
that
under.
interior
Like, you
site
don't even have to be
defense
accurate with
not
them and they
giving
still
an
kill
inch
you.
over towards
I would
the
really love
Falcons
to see
here.
them so that,
So
like,
composed, not
either they do
making any
half
mistakes.
damage to the
As a
floor,
result of that, the
or
Falcons are just left constantly
potentially
guessing.
the
For
other
2
way
rounds
you
in a
can
row
go
now,
is
this
that they do
guys,
full
how do we
damage,
get
but the
into here? How do
radius
we
is
rush
way
past this setup
smaller.
without
Like, right
really
now, the
losing
radius
half
is
of our
like, it
lineup?
seems like probably
That's
like,
the
what,
problem
4
they're
meters,
currently
5
going up
meters,
against,
you're
and
dead.
unfortunately, they just have
If
not
someone
had a
throws the
solution
grenade.
for that for the
Maybe
past
make
2
it like
rounds. They
1.
early
So
clear
you have
the
to like
roam clear,
directly
that
hit
much
the
is fine,
person.
but getting into the site is a real problem right now for the Falcons. The good news is, though, the attacking side is over. They can flip it over to the defense and focus more so on this side, but now down 1 to 5, quite obviously, as you can see it on your screen. They'll have to be nearly perfect on this attacking side or this
You know what's
defensive
kind
side
of crazy about
to be
Brid
able to bring
is
things
like
back
he
under their own
was
control.
like, if you guys remember back on Vitality, he was nuts on Vitality. So this is like kind of like the now BDS is like the French super team. So like Alems used to play for what, Secret, I believe. Fall, I forgot what team he used to play for. Renshiro used to play. Renchiro's been around forever since I played. Renshiro used to be around since like the youngest days. That's back like I played against him in year 1, season 2. He's been around forever. That guy's so annoying to play against when he's playing Blackbeard, by the way. Good player, though. Shaco's pretty much always just played for the same org. But Brid, like, Alems was like a star. Like, he was like, I mean, he's still great now, but he was like nuts on Secret. Or even whatever, he was on what was the team? It was like Playing Ducks or something.
Makes sense that you would expect them to roll.
Renshiro won year 1 season. Yeah, I know because he beat me. he literally beat me.
Quite quiet here, but it's
I
gonna
lost
get
to
loud
him.
pretty quickly, as I mentioned that Shaiko letting a winning nade, getting some revenge for his death earlier on, playing in this very same position, takes out a Joker.
Yeah, he's been on there for a long time.
Elsewhere on the map. E1D charge gonna move in. I don't see any huge movement from BDS to correspond to it, however, so Mad Skills still ready to try and strike back against this entry that had moved in from Shaiko and a few of the other members of BDS, but their priorities are elsewhere. Definitely wanting to try and move themselves over towards trophy side with the way they're lining up their players right
that
now.
was that was like old Playing Ducks too, like pre-Secret.
From the
All those same players were all there.
Skills. Maybe his first challenge in just a moment. He's got the CZ out to take it as well.
Nice.
Beautifully played. Knocks out Shaiko. Gets revenge against him. And oh, what a refrag to go right back in that same angle. Clips the head off of Bride as well. And leaves BDS. Oh, Mad Skills with another one to take home too. Renshiro also going to be left stunned as to just how his head was found there. But still, it's been done. And now Rafal, the only one left standing. He'll get the first kill needed. But 3
Those
more
guys actually got fried.
Minute and 10 left for Rafal to try and get this done. Not a great amount of utility at his disposal.
Nice job.
Okil's pro,
By the way,
Fakiba
that Vigil
was
player,
always
Mad
gonna be a
Skills, is their
difficult one
coach.
for Rafal to challenge onto. Mad Skills, coach, by the way. That's not the first time tonight that we've seen him pick up multi-kills either. He's making a little bit of a name for himself on the defense, whether it be Legion or Vigil. He's lethal.
He's gonna have like the highest headshot percentage of any fill-in in history at this rate, because some of these shots we're seeing are just, look at this, absolutely insane. And then one more as well. This whole team can do this though. We've seen multiple members of the Falcons going for these tiny little lean peaks where they lean out, go for the one shot, and then quickly unlean. We see that out of quite a few of the other members on this roster, and it's been a really successful tactic for the Falcons over the course of the series they played at this tournament.
It's in contrast to what we're used to seeing as well. We're used to seeing just players mag dump angles. Like, if you're not pre-firing an angle and dumping half a clip into it, what are you doing with yourself? But these guys just love going for these little flashy one-taps, and it often works out for them. Falcons, they've grabbed the first round of many that they need if they want to try and lock things up here with BDS.
Yeah, I think Falcons do deserve a spot.
Forced into their site rotation. Protoss Hopefully not going to go for anything too aggressive here, as we saw exactly what happened to Shaiko when he attempted the same. He's going to go for a little cheeky run out, though. It's not one that exposes you too much. You just a little hop out, hop back in. Maybe go for the Nitro Cell over the top as well, just for good measure.
No, he's going for the bed peek.
Are already working ahead
When somebody repels up.
Fakes out at least one of the frag grenades from the Falcons, and look over towards them. They didn't necessarily bring a whole lot to the party this time. Still down to only just 2 remaining for themselves. So actually, I'll correct myself. I believe that was an impact I heard go off, not a frag grenade. So never mind. As we see J-Lab,
I would buy a Falcon skin and charm.
Into on the top downs there from the interior of that bedroom angle. But
I would
sure,
buy
some of
it.
the other members of BDS now going to get themselves into position to start fending off this pressure from the Falcons on the interior of Master as well. Have to be very careful about the pushes. At minimum, what that opening run out
You
is
wish
going
esports
to do
skins were
is
universal?
make BDS second guess themselves.
I mean, I understand why they don't do it. It's like,
Else from the Falcons is going to want
if
to
they
try and
make
venture forward aggressively here. They just don't
a
know
skin
exactly where it's gonna
universal,
come from.
it's like a
They're
lot
trying to
more
believe
work because
just
they have to
spotted
skin
Kotos
each
Ghost.
gun.
We'll have that assurance now. We'll probably have the
Like, and that's a lot
confidence
of
to at
like
least move into
developmental
walking.
cost.
Other sites to be chained together after that as well. Now that O-Kills is going to be isolated here, he should still have a Keeper to re-block that window off, though, if he wants to continue to hold this angle quite aggressively.
Lem's taking a good amount of damage there as he does get juiced back up somewhat. EMP goes
Your prediction
out
for
to
Wild
avoid
Falcons, you fell
electronics.
asleep?
Lem
Well,
taking
Falcons
victory
won,
as
so I don't know what your
Kills
prediction
playing at
was,
the bottom
but...
of Astronomy Stairs. Kotos needs to be cautious. There's a lot of angles open here for BDS to work with. Nade going to get caught there by the Wamai.
One's in the shower already, he's creeped up.
Through this reinforced wall. It's going to take a little bit of damage though as the hopping comes through.
Nice.
It's going to be successful from Kotos, shutting Renshiro down. Lion scan or not, Renshiro will fall. And that's going to be the first kill coming in at around the minute 15 mark. So quite a slow round considering the pressure that BDS have applied straight from the off.
O-Kills with the winning angle to try and fend off the pressure through the breach that was made by these defenders as well to the left side of that triple wall leading into Master. O-Kills, though, tries to be patient on it, but also having to watch out for some pressure. Might work its way in from Astro. He's got Joker to pay attention to that, but he can only watch one of these angles at a time, too. So a little bit of a tricky hold here for the Falcons.
Honestly, I think that
this position to do so.
that Vigil play might have, like,
onto Rafel's just
hopefully
slightly there,
changed the momentum in Falcons' favor.
sure they'll block up a bit more of that rotation from
We love
Astro,
Blue's
but
voice.
Shaiko
Blue
gonna
is
be
a
able to
great
catch those
caster.
kills instead. That angle works just as well for the attackers as it does for the
So much better
defenders,
than
and this time
Parker.
BDS
Okay.
himself getting things out and
Oh,
the timing
no.
for Joker. I think he went to look to his left. That'll lead to his death. Shaiko chaining multiple together now as well, leaving J-Lad on his own inside of the 1v3. Won't be able
Nice
to
try.
contend against the pressure as one more is claimed from Shaiko.
A streamer
Quickly
card
going for
background?
that
That'd be
kill bounty
cool.
Here. We'll have to keep tabs on if he's going to be
If I had
able to actually
if I had a
catch the
streamer
card
card
leader.
background, this is what it would
O-Kills
be.
on the side of the Falcons.
If Shaiko keeps getting 4 kills around, he's not going to be far off. Such a dangerous player, especially on
What do you guys
Finkel.
think?
I mean, the Finker LMG makes a lot of people look good, but Shaiko uses it just so well. He gets himself in great positions to pick up multiple kills. That's exactly what we saw in that round.
Yeah, I mean, I would, like, all joking aside as well, Zumi, I would love to see Blue and Parker as a casting duo. I honestly thought about it, and I was talking about this, but what about a triple casting duo?
Didn't have a very successful attacking
Or
phase,
not duo, it would be a
as such.
trio. I mean, listen, I'm sleep deprived right now, give me a break. Anyway, having a casting trio, like having Parker and Blue cast and having live analysis just only in between
BDS
rounds.
Really didn't look too pushed inside of that last round. They were very happy to play patiently and to let Falcons make the mistakes and force the error.
That's kind of been the critical thing that I think BDS has realized ever since we got towards.
Yeah,
the
I would love to see that, like
snaps. If they
Parker,
play things slowly
like
forward,
Blue,
compose,
and
well,
like,
the
I
Mighty
don't know,
Falcons
maybe
are going to make those mistakes. They are going to try and
I don't
go
know,
for those
maybe
aggressive
Pangu
peaks. Like we're gonna
for,
see
like,
again here from
knowledge.
Kotos, just trying his luck about it. Like you said, this isn't exposing
Or
too
Fabian.
much, if less someone
Yeah,
actually tried to
Fabian.
peek the very same
I've
angle that he
changed
was
my
firing
mind.
at, which you'd hope he'd have a good chance of at least winning that fight there. So not
Yeah,
too much loss
Fabian has the
that far out,
knowledge,
but still, once again,
and
evidence
he's
towards the fact
hilarious.
of what BDS is playing into here. They know that Falcons are eventually going to try to make a move somewhere.
Yeah,
on the map.
super.
As long as
That'd
they're
be a
set
good
up
combo
appropriately
too.
to counter it, they should be able to use that as an opportunity to get a kill or two to push the advantage into their own corner here. And that's been the winning strategy for the past 5 or 6 rounds now, and has obviously thrusted BDS into a very powerful position here.
Fabian in the last 2 days before he says something outlandish and gets blacklisted again.
Mad Skills there going to be
Ooh.
gifted an opener onto Shaiko. Just trying to make
Dude,
a
Mad
sneaky
Skills is the
entrance
coach,
in through the
11-7
base.
right now, by the way.
Area of Villa.
Actually, I don't know. I mean, Fabian has been doing the EUL cast, so
into the map, but regardless, it's going to be a kill that goes over to the Falcons. A good opener here to get, especially when Shaiko has that potential to pick up those multi-kills. He's often a big
he's been doing it for like, dude, like
BDS
2 seasons at least.
work in those dying few seconds. It puts a bit more pressure onto everybody else as well, and the loss of the adrenal surge and those couple of nades is going to be felt for sure. It's going to leave a lot for Lems to do with the 2 nades that he has left remaining. He drops the Gemini clone, just hopping in and seeing if he can get a bit of a better view of how the land lies. Madskill's going to be playing things quite tight on the window. Knows that the Gemini was just thrown in and picks up a great shot over.
Madskills is frying this game.
We were saying before, the accuracy for Madskill specifically, but also for quite a few of the other members here on Falcons, looking second to none inside of this tournament at the moment here. BDS certainly going to be a little bit scared about how to proceed from this point forward, as finally the slow play has come back to bite them. Falcons are finally able to line up some of this early aggression with some success for themselves. It's been evading them the past 2 rounds. Kairos are in, but I think quite a few of them are going to be lost and shut out quite quickly. So not going to get the opening that they would like to have in the long run here. They're going to need to look for another avenue to move themselves in, as you can also see quite a bit of a defensive set
at least
for the
2.
Falcons
Nice.
over here. But even when we see Renshiro try to open up new territory towards the red stairs, he's immediately fended off.
Madskill's 13-7.
Pushed out. Joker in this area now going to feel the safety to move even further out from that position. Bride still looking for this player as well, and meanwhile he's on the opposite side of the map. BDS,
yeah, I would love that though. Like having like a trio cast.
Sure how they're going to be able to try and
Parker, Blue.
Only 20 seconds to go. At least they catch Joker at the tail end of things here. A second to be found from Breedis. Maybe it's not over just yet, but Breedy will now be left alone on an island.
Okay, it's not over till it's over, chat. It's not over till it's over. And maybe Fabian. That'd be. I feel like that trio would be hilarious. Or Super. Super's already NA based, so that'd be even easier. So like, that's like a very plausible trio that could happen. Like Intero, Blue, Super. I think that could be. That could totally happen.
And Madskills couldn't put a foot wrong. He picked up 3 on the roam, and he was here, there, and everywhere.
I'd be down for it.
Falcons doing exactly what they need to stay in this. BDS still on a match point, though. 3 rounds for Falcons in a row now would see them take this to an overtime. But how many times can they fend off that match point from BDS?
Indeed, it needs to be 3 in a row from this point forward. Consistency needs to be found here. BDS indeed still looking for the closeout on themselves. Not able to dictate where we go for it, and we are going to go to.
Hopefully, Sky stays involved in Siege. Yeah. Yeah, Thomas is like kind of. He was on the analyst test like 1 week as well too. He did pretty well. He's the first pro you watch in Pro League. Yeah, I love Skies too. I don't know what Skies is gonna do though. I feel like he's maybe like slightly burned out of the game and stuff, but he's a really good player.
Getting the crowd there, getting more and more hype as every round that Falcons win. They're gonna need more of that if they hope to close things out here on Villa. Certainly have the support of the stadium. Is that going to be enough, though? BDS going to be starting their campaign here, looking to gain a little bit of early information on that top floor. We do have Joker playing downstairs in library. Just have a C4 in hand.
Maybe it'll be a content creator for an org, maybe. But I think, if I remember correctly, because I played with Skies a little bit when he was like streaming and stuff, he like hated it, at least from what I remember. I mean, maybe things are different now, but he like hated it when he was streaming because the thing is when you stream, basically you just have like losers, like once again, I mean you know better than anyone, but you basically would just, whenever you stream, you just have like losers who like you snipe and stream snipe you all day, half of which are cheating.
As soon as the second was bashed.
Jiro positioning himself a little bit further back, now gonna get scared away from that mudroom hopping. Not having the confidence to move forward with it, and without the team support as
Jesse.
well.
I feel like Jesse would be a great desk host.
Art studio and try to pinch things in closer towards library. Need to focus up though to play into study. That art studio push for himself, so we still have at least one element alive. Mad skills, and oh, this is arguably one of the most dangerous ones. Let's go to these operators with the 1.5 times, and I can't disagree with him with his headshot accuracy too. The top
nice.
Beautifully played, and is going to be able to knock out Red
Nice.
Mad skills to land what arguably could be the killing blow for this round. At the same time, though, Rafal going to be able to bully his way forward. Could get a second kill by Death Storm, but no,
what a shot.
Fight instead, and Kotos closes out with one more.
All right, we're swinging together some rounds.
They still have 2 more rounds to go.
The Falcons are fighting here, chaining these rounds.
Dude, that one round, this is what I'm talking about. This game is so much about momentum. That round where Mad Skills just dumpstered like 3 people, that literally was the turning point. That they've won every round since.
Timeout, so could look to try and stop some of that momentum that the Falcons have gained over the course
so
of
BDS is pulling a timeout.
Compose themselves enough to get that one round that they need. But for BDS, the problem has really been in that opening. They've been very unsuccessful in that opening engagement. We saw Renshiro get a great nade kill there, but as soon as the Lems fell underneath, it was a solo challenge. There was no one there to trade off the back of it. It seems to be
the person in the middle. The person in the middle is not necessarily the IGL.
And when those players from Falcons are then able to be successful on the roam and
Spoit, yeah, he's doing really good. Yeah, I mean, he's doing excellent. I mean, the person that's in the middle is generally like the captain. It's not necessarily the IGL. Like, it could be, but it just depends. Honestly, there's not even really like, any, like, it could be like the IGL. It could be, you know, the captain. It could just be that person wants to sit in the middle.
It's no longer the case, and these attacks are oftentimes leading into them losing far too much too early on.
This boy he's a robot. He is pretty nuts.
Of their players into the building. The aggression from the Falcons is difficult to control when players like Mad Skills.
Dude, this stage is ridiculous.
On their road game. For the Falcons, though, finally reaching a point where maybe they'll have to stretch themselves a bit too thinly, as they too need to extend all the way down to the first floor now for their site hold. They'll select Kitchen for this one. So they need to lock this one in before being able to return upstairs.
So I'm thinking about this team. Oh, Falcons. I think they're literally a professional tier team. Like I think they're just as good. I think they're just as good as any team in like Europe or, you know, North America or Brazil. Like, I think they could hang in an internet. Like, I mean, they are right now. They're in the finals with a coach on top of it.
Shiro is going to be playing the Nomad, so we'll look to try and lock down some of those staircases and remove that ability to roam and rotate.
But, you know, I think they'd be fine at, like, this is why I think that MENA as a region, so Middle East, North Africa, deserves to be applicable for, like, international official Ubisoft tournaments.
All this does is really slow down the attackers as well, and they're conscious that they're going to get spawned.
Oh, they did lose one round? Okay, well, whatever. Either way, they definitely have momentum in their favor at the moment, correct?
Time is so important on the attack. You've got to be very efficient with your time. And if it takes you an extra 20, 30 seconds to make your way to the building, it can be very damning indeed. The second round in a row, though, Renshiro is going to hit that open kill,
wall bang.
Down O kills, successful on the Nomad.
Renshi with obviously a great start for him, and going to be able to resume pretty much immediate control over the upstairs hold and master. Oh, we have to wait and see though, as there's going to be a dash attempt from
he downed him. I don't think he knows. Oh, he knows he downed him.
Two-player hold at the pantry window only goes into it.
He missed the nade.
He actually chucked down below too, so it's not going to finish off J-Lad. He'll surprisingly be
well,
allowed to be
still
brought
20
back
HP.
Up here, but right obviously at very low HP. We do not have the Thunderbird present for the Falcons either, so not going to be able to see that HP be brought back up.
Their coach has been playing with this team for a while. This is obviously also a player. I mean, I don't know what kind of excuse that is. They're playing with their coach. Plain and simple. Nice! I mean, dude, ESM played with their coach. They're not in the finals, right? Hojo's an ex-professional player. He's my old teammate. He's played a bunch with ESM. They're not in the finals.
The 1v1 with Mad Skills could look to try and get the plant down. Depends on how much information he's got available to him here. Sitting at around half HP. No C4 available for Mad Skills. Going to start the plant now. Could be a bait, could be a stick. Looks as though he's going to try and stick it. There must be some information here.
Nice!
For BDS, but it's not going to be enough. Mad Skills clutching out the round like it's nothing.
The coach showing up as the hero that is needed.
Madskill has like 16 kills, dude. Their coach has 16 kills.
To the final round of regulation, where once again we could be thrusted into overtime. Beautifully played by the Falcons here, as they're able to come back from the brink. A 1-5 start on this half, now all the way up to 5-6. Still at a deficit though, so needs to pick up that one final round. And also a massive profit to Kotos once more as well. I said it back on map number 1, and we've seen it here once again inside of that last round here. This player continues to be a hero time and time again when situations look bleak. He's always able to multi-frag under a tremendous amount of pressure.
Zephyrox in the Prime sub chat. Okay, I don't, Crash Panda thing, the Prime sub. Okay, what are people not understanding about this? I understand, like, he is their coach. He has 16 kills. He's 16 and 8. And you guys are like, and they're in the finals right now. And the people are like, well, it's not a big deal. It's not that big of a deal, really. I swear. He's a coach, but he also was a player at one point. He's a guy. It doesn't matter. He's what kind of like coping and weird ass like excuses are you guys making? The dude has 16 kills and 8 deaths against BDS in the finals of a tournament.
Start of the round and being there ready to clutch inside of the last one as well. BDS have had plenty of opportunities to close out this match point, but this will be
on
the
land
last opportunity before we are forced into an overtime. And they're going to be looking at that and going, guys, we really ought to have done this a little bit sooner. There has been plenty chance.
Yeah, dude, like
to shut Villa out and take us onto our third map.
Why do you think he's a coach he has to be bad? Because generally your coach is not playing with you all the time. It's not that he's going to be bad. It's what I'm saying. Right now, Falcons are playing with their coach, and they're literally like hanging with BDS, like neck and neck. That's my point. They don't even have their actual main roster. And their coach is playing very well right now, though, still.
Certainly have to be pulling.
That's my whole point. That's why, and then people are like, well, he's a player as well. Well, Pojo is a player. Pojo is my old teammate. DSM got knocked out with their coach, right? Pojo's an ex-pro. Pojo's played at international events with me and with other teams.
A big start for BDS, and it is the start that they needed, moving into what could be the last round here of Villa. Nice opening advantage there as well, removing the mute and the Wamai. Shaiko going to double down, taking Mad Skills down, but O-Kills is there for
shot.
the trade.
This is aggressive. If he jumps out,
he's going to get a couple of kills.
Oh!
For him as Lems and Bride both next to fall. Quick as a flash, we're leveled up 2 versus 2, and Falcons are straight back in this one.
O-Kills was such a bold play as well to push himself out into Master, considering the risk involved in it, but this is what's been bringing the Falcons back.
Those are some nice shots, dude.
It seemed like the round had already been lost here. BDS now struggling for options as they're brought down to an even kill in a 2v2. Not with the greatest amount of utility to execute into this site as well. No more nades to try and burn out any hard lock positions from the Falcons. Only flashes built up between the two players. More than likely still with an E1D charge to use on Rafal. But more than likely, these Falcons players going to be static in their positions, or certainly with the capability to be so once the charge goes in, so that won't trip them up. Obviously, the Nomad charge is certainly going to be helping out, but the Falcons strike true. It's Kotos with the Nitro Cell to shut down Rafal and end his rampage on this round. Everything now falls to Renshiro, who, to be honest, has been struggling a bit inside of this game too. 5 and 10 currently, but the first kill is
there. We go.
Won't be able to find no kills, though.
Beautiful 4K. Beautiful 4K.
The Falcons are the team that
they brought back, yeah, like what, 5 rounds?
This was an insurmountable task on Villa, picking up 4 rounds in a row, and they have done just exactly that.
4 rounds.
They've stemmed BDS off from converting that map point into a match point, and they now trigger an overtime. Falcons can be very happy with what they've been able to achieve here on Villa, because I'll be honest with you, the first half didn't look great. I was thinking this could be a very quick Villa indeed, and even
this was a nuts play.
You look at it and you think BDS have got to take this round. They had such a great advantage. They just did not account for O-Kills.
That vigil play, yeah, brought all the momentum.
Really important frags, and you could arguably say that BDS handed it to them at some point. The all-important question here is who will get which side inside of the OT. Unfortunately for BDS, they get the attack.
So we're going to have to continue to struggle against the same types of attacks they've been failing to pull off here inside of regulation. are going to be going back to the AVG for the initial hold. For those guys who are unaware of the rules here for overtime in Siege, we mentioned this in map number 1, but we do not have unlimited overtime here, despite the fact it's a best-of-5 final. Just going to be the straight 3 rounds, so first to 8 will win it. And on top of that,
these guys are playing like this against BDS with their coach. I'm going to add that one, because evidently people think that doesn't even matter. This should be telling you these guys deserve to be in Pro League. I agree.
And if you're BDS, you're going into this round knowing that we've struggled on this site. You're going into this round knowing that
that claw is so annoying to get behind the door. There you go.
Took him a few tries.
It's not cheating. It's a LAN event.
With the if you can get one in an impossible spot, particularly behind a vault door, it's going to be pretty tricky.
You gotta be like, not gonna lie though, think about it, right? Imagine you're like watching from home right now because you couldn't play, and your coach is playing in your spot, and your coach is 16-9. You gotta be like worrying a little bit, like, ah, shit. I might be losing my spot.
Knock it out, as you've also got a fully hard wall sitting behind it. Will be completely inaccessible to the attackers. More than likely, all those side walls reinforced too. That would be the second best way to try and access it. Once again, if they could even find it, which I doubt that from a drone's POV. Ranchiro, though, setting himself up against 90 quite quickly, wants to punish any of this aggression.
I definitely think it's kind of funny.
They've taken the opposite approach that BDS had on their defensive side. BDS wanting to stay cool, calm, and composed. Yeah, slightly relying on their extended game to maybe waste some time, and if they get lucky, pick up a kill or two at the beginning of the round. But the Falcons, even when they're pushed into a deficit, they're willing to risk it all in a bold play, and that's
this is a crazy comeback, dude.
So many different times here.
Yeah, their 5th is not old enough to play, so they had to play with their coach for this tournament.
BDS looking to move quite quickly here as Shaiko pushes himself through, but it's straight into the gun of Mad Skills. That push wasn't bolstered by anybody else on the side of BDS, and as a result will just be a straight advantage to the Falcons. You could see BDS immediately scared to pushing off the back of it after they saw Shaiko's fate, and Kotar's going to shut Alems down out there on the rappel once again, leaving BDS in a very difficult situation. Kotar is lining up for 3 here as
Mad Skills is their coach.
Scuffle, but he too shall fall.
You can see the tilt starting for BDS.
It's going to be a flawless for the Falcons. They bring it all the way back and put themselves onto a map point.
The comeback is so close to its completion now. Remember, folks, 1-5 is the way we started this one out. And the Falcons have nearly brought it back in their own regard, risking potentially going down 0-2 in this series as well if they had not been able to do so. But now everything sits in their court. Just need to pick up that one final round, and they'll lock it in.
it's like the Ralph meme.
I'm in danger. But immediately are fended off by both JLad and Mad Skills. No immediate follow-up to try and make up the difference from BDS either. Didn't have an immediate plan B behind that rush in through Death's Door. So because Falcons had the Kona station, they got themselves boosted right back up to near
man.
And we're ready for another fight. So by the time BDS were ready to move in, Falcons were more than ready for the challenge. And once again,
which players would I want to play with me? I would want myself, so I have to be on the team, right? So myself and 4 Interos.
For them earlier on in the match, but even so, that looming threat of the return to the attacking
Intero is gold, and golds are the best.
Still something they're going to have to contend with sooner.
Also, he would simply just talk too much and annoy them to death.
Well, at what point does it start to affect the mental on BDS? They've been on that map point for so long now, and Falcons have just gone from strength to absolute strength. Sure, they've got a little bit more of a difficult side here on the attack. Falcons, as BDS did, struggled on the
Bro, I still remember one time I was just like solo queuing, like playing ranked, and Intero joined my Discord channel and talked about like fucking jams and like I forgot what else. Like I don't know. He was talking about like jams and jellies for like literally like 30 minutes.
We might see all 5 tonight, Blue.
Literally a situation of who asked.
Likely, if the Falcons continue to show us this comeback capability, BDS need to give us a bit of it as well. But the Falcons, 0 respect being given here, especially by JLad as he moves himself directly towards the inside, already with positioning towards the lower landing of the red stairs too. Could make about quite quickly, but needs to build up the intel.
It's first to 8 too, so no unlimited OT.
And so he's going to be down here on the lower level of those red stairs. If we see that member of BDS,
oh yeah, and then he started talking about preserves. He was telling me the difference in jams, jellies, and preserves. I don't know why.
Kill yet again. Shaiko as well, being shut down quite heavily here, but this time he's going to excel, be able to take down JLad. pick up the first kill of the round for BDS.
That's exactly what BDS needed. They've really struggled in the opening engagement, and to keep Shaiko alive and to get him credited with the first kill is going to be huge here. Sledge has gone, 2 nades gone. All of that is only a good thing for
Parker
BDS.
is a silly guy.
Trophy and statuary here. Joker now looking to make his way.
You remember
into the
that?
party
Yeah.
as he's getting himself in below.
Ooh, here we go.
At the bottom of Astro. Looks as though he's aware
He knows
of this,
he's
though,
there.
He's going to get a bit of a
Tagged him.
fire out there. Meanwhile,
I missed, he
Alems
missed.
is going to be taken out off camera here as O'Kills has established himself inside of Astro. More firefights happening inside of Astro, but Breed
It doesn't sound too bad.
too far, I'm afraid.
Dude,
He loves playing inside
if
of
you
that
guys
position.
haven't
Just
had
on
it
the
before,
threshold of trophy.
oof, what a
Still
shot.
Joker will pick up Renshiro below, but doesn't account for a second player. Almost gets caught with a nade in his hand there as he rotates over toward these east stairs.
Have you guys ever had lingonberry before? Like there's like the G Fuel flavor that PewDiePie has, but it's because PewDiePie's Swedish. So I've actually been eating lingonberry like jam and jelly for like a long time because my dad bought it and liked it. My dad bought it because of like I think like Lindstrom on the Red Wings is a hockey player that used to play for the Detroit Red Wings. Ooh, he barely missed. That guy's 3 days, 1 HP.
Alone here inside of the 1v3, trying to make the play, but just can't make it happen against that M590. It's all too easy of a closeout, and indeed, that final round.
You're Swedish, yeah. So anyway, yeah, like I was eating like lingonberry, like jams and jellies when I was a kid. That's so good, by the way. They sell it at IKEA, or you can get it on like Amazon and sure and stuff. But yeah, that is like really good jam and jelly.
That bottom floor clear, not being successful.
Evidently, it's like a huge thing in Sweden.
On the map, really putting the steps inside of that one.
This is match point, so whoever wins this round wins map.
Bode quite ill for BDS, given that they have to go back into the attack
Lingen
now,
is even better. I'll have to look it up.
As have the Falcons here on Villa, but it will be the last round of play here for map number 2.
Oh, is this like fresh or something?
Into trophy and statuary, where they will make their final stand.
All comes down to this for the Falcons here. Back onto a site which they have been able to make great control over off the back of, again, some very unexpected aggression in areas like Master. A few of the other initial cleared positions that BDS would like to take. There's like Mudroom and whatnot, which are usually quite easy for the attackers to walk right into on a round like this. Have not been the case whatsoever. Falcons just have to close it down one more time to lock in the tie point on this series at 1-1. Joker going to be quite adventurous with his own positioning, but as we've seen before, very much off on an island.
It's like fresh lingens in a bin with some sugar. So it's kind of like a sauce, like a cranberry sauce, like with the full cranberry pieces.
There's a big question mark as to how BDS approach this, because
All right, this is for all the marbles.
They've tried rush rounds, they've tried slow push rounds, and nothing has really consistently worked out for them. They brought the Lion. Of course, Lion can mean a multitude of things. It doesn't always mean a rush, but sometimes it signifies a bit of a go button. As soon as you get a nice little opening, that's when you're going to use the Lion scan and you're going to try and take a little bit more ground. Obviously, with the Nomad there as well, you're looking to cut off some of those rotations, although we haven't really seen the air jabs play a huge part in this game. Mad Skills tanks a nade and is left on basically 1 HP there. So he has been often a big part of how successful these defensive rounds have been.
Yeah, Mad Skills is 17 and 10, but he's really low HP. He's stuck downstairs, but he still has C4 up. RSAM's with 8 months. 8 months. Keep the great work, George. Thank you very much. As long as he's still up with C4, then he can still have a lot of impact.
Now spotting him out here. Thankfully, it's going to be a friendly drone. It's obviously with Mozzie in play for Mad Skills. Haven't actually seen him being able to steal one of those away and at least to use it just yet, but obviously a change of pace to that now for this round.
Oh,
Joker,
no.
though, a big risk, but it pays off for him. He's able to get rid of that Nomad charge and get himself
Shaiko,
out of
that's
dodge.
a
But
lot.
still, he'll lose one of his teammates to start this off. Shaiko gets the opening entry of the round. Another one going to be claimed for him as well.
Oh,
Joker
no.
not going to be able to maintain position. But
No!
down against Shaiko. We're following the rest of BDS, though. Have won this trade.
Winnable.
But he also downs the case, so it's not secure just yet for BDS either. If Gotos can hold here, he might be the hero that sends the Falcons into a tie position. But he's going to have to maintain. Backs up a bit. Will give that case control over to the players from BDS. Starting to second guess about where the next peak will come from. He's right.
Oh, no. Nice try.
To the end of the map. BDS locking it instead. They get the 2
That's tough. That's 2 7-7s that they lost. 8-7 technically games. So that is, yeah, he gets stuck on the door.
The Falcons coming
That's
back
unfortunate.
after an insurmountable round count deficit. They needed 4 rounds to force an overtime. They found it, but it wasn't quite enough.
Map number 2 is done. We have anywhere from 1 to 3 maps remaining. Let's go down to the desk to break things down and get us ready for the 3rd map in just a bit.
Pain. So much pain.
Thank you very much, friends. Yes, we are back, and BDS yet again are taken to max OT on map 2 this time.
We could, yeah, we could see a Penta style comeback.
Could have gone either way, but then Shaiko and Bride happen, and that's kind of the story of it all. Welcome back to the desk. I'm Milosh. With me are Twister and Tristan. Twister, what went on in Villa?
It's really cool how they have all these like floating graphics all over the place.
I'm impressed at the level that both of the teams showed on this match. They were so impressive, and it was so fun to watch.
These are 2 like incredibly evenly matched teams, and as much as we can say Falcons are 2-0 down right now, backs against the wall, it's like, how much closer really could it have been? Like, can we be that critical about it when the round count right now is 16-14? Obviously, it's
you want BDS to win something because it's been like 4 years since they never won anything. I don't know. I still want Falcons to win. I really thought honestly, it seemed like Falcons had the momentum on that, especially after that round where Mad Skills went crazy. I thought they had that. It's gonna be. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it's always possible to come back. It's tough though, dude. Like, it's tough to come back. This could very have easily been 2-0 Falcons, yeah.
From just kills, because to have players that are able to frag or get big entries, you need supports that can give them the
7-7 on both. Both maps went 7-7.
Match could be pretty even on this map specifically, Villa. But on this map, what we saw today, it was a very defended side. And once we talk about defense on BDS players, we are talking about Rafal and Breed. They were just insane, probably.
I know.
Of this result right now. And once we saw a bank like on Shaiko and LMs going nuke, this map was totally on Rafal and
Every day. Especially on the defense, and I completely agree with you. They kind of shut down any opportunity.
Shaiko deserves this win. I mean, I won't be like mad or anything like that, you know, if they win, but I would just rather see Falcons win. That's all.
Every other team do. I spoke about it in Falcons against Wild on the desk. Like the way that Falcons managed to just completely clear Kaneo off of the map after what he'd done on Chalet. Bride didn't let that happen to himself. He stayed alive in those moments, managed to clutch up rounds, play smart, play tight on the defense. And ultimately, that's just what did it for BDS.
But it's a big comeback then to go from what 6-1, 6-2.
Yeah, both teams are playing
bring
great.
It back to overtime and then take it advantage in overtime into max OT. Twister. That's got to weigh heavily on Falcons.
It was a clash of different play styles that we saw here today. It was old school meta from BDS. It was Zami, totally new meta from
BDS
Falcons.
Is like OXG, always a top team in events, but never won anything. Has OXG's never even made a finals, have they?
Go for the 5 map.
No, right? Or even like a semis?
With 2 maps that we had 8,
maybe they have made a semis, I don't know.
Anything can happen.
It doesn't get any tighter than this. It doesn't get any tighter. I don't know what better of a final
they won DreamHack.
See Siege played at this high.
But that was like so long ago.
We're not seeing throws, we're not seeing teams lose 4v1s or anything like that. Every single round's coming down to the wire. It's good siege, but again, we're not even seeing many rush rounds, to be completely honest with you. I think a couple that have come through. Yeah, both teams just playing strong, structured siege, and you can see it in the scoreboard now. Just look how consistently these kills are showing up on both teams.
Yeah, you've got your scoreboard brought to you by STC. Of course, 8-7 overtime win for BDS. And genuinely, those look, at least if you're looking at both teams, very similar.
Only Fox and Laxing remain from that DreamHack team. Yeah, that was the team that had like Goddess on it and stuff, right? Back in the day. Skies was also on there, I think. Skies on there back then?
I remember. Totally on Mad Skills.
Yeah, I think it would have been deserved as well, to be honest. I don't think you could say either team really deserved to lose this map is the shame about it.
I never played against...
Yeah, they just,
no, I've never played with any of the BDS players. Well, actually, no, that's not true.
Everybody, I think
I'm pretty
we
sure
like
I've
to
played
take
with like
ancient
Renshiro
strategies,
and stuff
but
before,
for
because I
that,
used to
we
play
got
with
Mr.
Falco a
Jack
lot, who
on
was
the
his
other
old
side.
teammate.
So,
And I
Fresh,
played
you got any,
against Renshiro
produce
when he was on
the other side?
Yotis.
I've just got a little round I wanted to highlight.
Yeah, it was
here, like,
Goddess,
I highlighted
Lax,
quite a
Fox,
few rounds
Retro, and
from
Mark.
Falcons, and
Yup.
It's actually going to be about the Falcons. And
I actually
their
miss
comeback that they
Mark
did. Obviously, they
in
were
pro, like
6-2 down,
playing.
got onto the defense.
I don't. Does Mark even
And
play anymore?
realistically, the one thing that's really impressed me about this team as to why they're
Mark is
actually
always just a
winning
very
rounds and
chill
actually
guy.
coming and staying in these games is their grit, their determination, and their composure. So I'm just going to play this round out, and it's going to be basically 40 seconds of the round. And I want you to focus on the Kaid here. I want you to focus on Q and how he plays, because basically he's been pushed from about 4 different angles, and he has that composure in the late round. You see, he just picked up a down but not out injured teammate, and the aggression is going to come in from LMs.
Oh, he's the coach of BC.
Basically all at the
Okay,
same
cool.
time. Now, when this happens, you have to hold your
That's
nerve. You
right,
have to
he
have
still
your nerve
is-
about
he
you.
still
He
is.
gets 1, he gets 2. He does end up getting traded out as this guy pushes into kitchen, but he holds off sufficient time for his teammates to then get back and then be able to clutch back up on site. Obviously, Shaiko gets it down to 1v1, and if you remember rightly, Shaiko did end up losing.
Yeah, with
the 1v1.
Chala retired.
But I just want to highlight,
I think
because
Chala
multiple
will probably
players on
like has a
Falcons
chance of coming
have
back.
this composure in the late round, and this is why even sometimes when they get strategically beat, they manage to.
It's
stay in
weird
these
that
rounds
both
and they
Chala
manage to
and
win the
Skies
round
are
back.
like taking a break /
Thank you very
free
much,
agents.
Jack. Got it all. That's the strategies and the composure from the Falcons to make it all happen.
It is
So,
event because the budget is really
Marcia,
healthy
that's-
with the
thank you
future of
very much
R6
for going
esports.
through
Yeah, I
this
mean, I
with
think
us.
it's
We're
like
not done yet.
it's a
not
good
best
thing
of
to
three,
be
it's
like,
best of
hey,
five
there's
for this series. We'll take a quick
a
break
big tournament
and then
going
come
on for
back
Siege with a big
who knows,
prize
maybe
pool,
another
you know.
max overtime map. See you in a bit.
What I think of the Falcons is their first Oh, I think they're great. Yeah, I think they're. I know, like obviously they're down 2-0 technically right now, but like realistically, it's the same. Like they're. It could have gone either way. They could be winning 2-0 right now. I mean, honestly, even the fact that they're in the finals and they've, you know, with a coach, they're not even, they don't even, one of their, they're missing a player. Yeah, they're still going 7-7 right now, right? With BDS, I mean, that's all you need to really know, in my opinion. Here, we can start the predictions, I guess. I'll put a 5-minute bet period, so we'll have, like, lots of time to bet.
Welcome back, friends. We're 2-0 up for BDS in our best of 5 grand final. If you missed it,
What if the player was worse? I mean, you can't just like assume that they're going to be worse. Generally speaking, if someone doesn't have their player that they
but in the end, it doesn't matter
have.
because it's only the winner that gets to collect $400,000 at the end of it, and our massive trophy sitting in the center of the stage. Welcome back. The analyst desk will help you out for map number 3. I'm Osamatic. With me are Twister and Tristan, 2 professional coaches in the league, and they know their stuff. So, how does
the coach is genuinely a better aimer?
Into map 3, Twister.
Who's their other players, since you somehow know this?
We are just going back
you have 10 seconds to answer.
Story. If you remember well, we just had the first match between these 2 teams on the group stage. It was Oregon. And back there on that time,
okay, 10 seconds are up.
That they just
That's right.
Perform. So
you're just
right
saying
now,
things. You literally were spamming BDS power.
Again, they just will play what they had to play.
They're gonna be
some 16-year-old. Okay, but you don't even know the guy's name. So how do you know how he's how he's a better aimer or whatever this is?
On attack, they really struggled. They were just so slow, and you could just see that they weren't sure in themselves.
Not biased at all, huh? Hey, I'm not even biased. It's not even a big deal. The coach is the best person I've ever seen in my entire life. He's the best player ever. They'd be doing far worse. They would have gotten grouped if the coach was here.
Do they have the same stamina as BDS to go this far, though? To go 2 maps, both go to 15 rounds? It's not nice.
Yeah, that is the biggest question here because
yes, at least from what I understand, he's like nuts.
Which is what Falcons.
His name is P9, I think, right? If I'm not mistaken. And from what I understand, he's like insane
in the grand final. And now this is what happens. This is setting aside some clips that have been circulating here and there. You know who you are, but setting up for this, how can it work for BDS for them to close it 3-0 in Oregon?
Just to be pretty clear, LMs was missing during this second map, so I just would say that probably on this match we will need to see that LMs from the last game yesterday. So he needs to show up, he needs to help his team, and he needs to got that kills on the flank watches.
Tristan, 3-0, yes, no?
I think so.
Twister?
Yeah.
All right, there it is. BDS takes it. We'll have to see once we get into the server. We've already been 8-7, 8-7 max OT on our first 2 maps, and maybe it'll be the 3rd one. Hello, Blue and Ollie. I hope your verses are doing well. Those games are pretty long, aren't they?
Indeed, they have, and it's, I want to be real, you're probably pretty realistic that we could end up with another 15-rounder here. We're going to Oregon after all, as we've seen so many teams play into this map. We've seen all the sites be played out. You have to hope that both.
What do you mean? I'm not taking a day off. I'm streaming right now. How am I taking a day off today? I'm streaming later today. My day off is tomorrow.
As we're going to be going live with the 3rd map in just a second. BDS are ready. The Falcons, I assume, are ready as well. And it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to see if it'll be the perfect.
I already put my schedule on Twitter.
Or if Mena will have a little bit of bite to back up the bark as we get into our 3rd map.
Oregon is where we are going to be going for our 3rd map here. The desk. Fairly resounding BDS fans, it seems, as they do believe that BDS are going to go the whole way.
Good ban. They're probably gonna ban Knock Valk.
Straightforward, Blue. We haven't seen BDS.
No,
really
tomorrow's my day off. I have some stuff I gotta get done.
Have fantastic round.
I gotta go like.
Everything has been very.
I have to do some stuff around the house, honestly.
Back and forth up until this point.
I have to replace all those vacuum breakers on my like. Hoses outside, and I have to do like, it's not gonna take very long, but I gotta install like 2 or 3 different door stoppers, and I gotta go grocery shopping.
The Falcons are gonna lock in their final ban, their defender ban. Could be the Valkyrie.
I am a boomer.
That would mean 3 for 3, sorry, on the bans so far today. They are really making us wait for it though. Maybe debating something a little bit different, but no, there it is. The Valkyrie will be removed.
LMs has been doing very good on Knock, honestly.
On that operator. But up until this point, it hasn't done Falcons any good. Bans or not, target bans or not, they've still not been able to pick up a map.
So an exact mirror of the scoreline yet again here on the bans, rather. And we'll get ourselves into the first round as well to see if the Falcons can bring to bear that winning strategy that will absolutely be needed to keep them in this series, now requiring a reverse sweep to be able to bring themselves into that winning position and be able to lift the trophy in the middle of the stage. Otherwise, it'll be BDS to take it here all the way in 3-0 fashion. They'll be starting on the attacking side as well, where we have previously seen a good amount of success on this very map when they played their series yesterday. For the Falcons, of course, we'll be wanting to bring that gargantuan strength out as well, and we'll be wanting to see that roam game come alive and well here from the very first round in the basement. So certainly going to be expecting some of it with the operator lineup we have. The Oryx making it.
I am gonna get off after this for a few hours, though. I'll like eat, maybe take a nap.
With a few other
We'll
elements
see.
adding into this as well. Mad Skill's still going to be playing very confidently on that Mozzie, also to deny a bit of the intel game.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Now, we saw Oregon yesterday, Blue.
These are actually
And
idiots.
we saw an Oregon that made us question, had we shifted into an alternate universe? We saw an Oregon where defenders struggled to win downstairs. I'm not sure if we're going to see the
Shaka
same
misses
again
nade.
here. BDS was certainly
Unlucky.
a part of that game as well. Liquid. And it was a bit of a weird one. We did see defenders
So they left the whole wall
struggle
open so they could
downstairs
probably
in
play
the
from
basement,
pillar.
a site that is usually held in high regard for the defending side here on
Shaka
Oregon.
just whiffed 2 nades in a
To see
row.
how BDS choose to approach this on the attack, and if they are going to show the same prowess that they showed yesterday. Currently, heavy stack up inside of Blue Bunker. Looks as though Rafal's just waiting for that cue to call, as there is going to be a yellow ping out there, looking to disable any electronics. The drones work ahead of him somewhat. Going to be able to call 90 as clear. The Shaiko gets ready to burst on through. We'll be able to dish out a little bit of damage initially, but the opening engagement is going to favor the Falcons, as Lens is going to be the first to fall. Renshiro and Shaiko, though, back things up, as this pushing through Blue has, for the most part, been successful.
Very direct play from BDS. Once again, ignorant of the roam game upstairs, but with good reason behind that as well. J-Lad now going to try and fire some shots in for me, and he'll be taken down.
Nice.
Shaiko just going on a rampage here. 3 kills already claimed, all from this back pillar clear as well. Joker tries to stem the tides, but it's way too far gone. And a very one-sided, very direct round from BDS shows up to keep that attacker-sided Oregon flowing strong and true as they take control over the first round.
That's going to feel
Shaiko's
good
not
if you
washed.
BDS, they struggled on the
No,
attack
he's been playing
on
great
Villa.
this tournament. He's
They
had an
entirely
amazing
flipped the script
tournament.
here on Oregon, storming their way through Bunker. A very minimal take for the most part. I don't really think we saw anybody entering through Meeting. We didn't see much attention to Tower. We didn't see any attention to Freezer.
I feel like I hope it's
It was
not
a
the
very
case, but
direct
like
approach through
I hope
Bunker. Well, that just
Falcons
goes to
like
show what
mental
can
is
happen when
like
you have that information
strong enough to
and you are
persevere
very
through
well
this.
coordinated. Now we are going to see Falcons attempt downstairs again here. Surely they've got to play with a bit more bunker strategy in mind, Blue. They can't keep going for these roams.
Certainly not the case, but at the same time, what else do the Falcons have in their pocket? They've relied on
Will I
this
ever
style
consider
of
playing
play
professionally again?
throughout the
Probably
entire
not.
series, and in large
They're
part
really
throughout this
bunkering up
entire
like
tournament
super
as
hard
well.
on this,
Really
like
get to
downstairs.
see
Like they're not
much more
extending
reserved
downstairs,
style
they're playing
from
this
the Falcons.
upstairs
Ever since
roam.
really day one,
And
this
then
would be a huge
BDS is
callback
just
to that.
taking advantage
They
of
finally try to
this.
center themselves into it. This round probably not going to be it though. As we see a very similar note brought out for all 5 players here. Definitely going to be a heavy on the roam game as they bring an appropriate operator pool to do
All right,
so.
I'm
So
sure
extending
you're
yourself over
probably
towards
better
the
than
small
Shaiko,
tower. So
right?
look for some early pickups. He'll get at least one member of BDS looking to clear that out. But
Hey, let me
unsure
tell you
if
something.
either one of them are
Let me
ever
tell
gonna
you
come to
something. I hit
blows here.
plat
Something like a
1
member of BDS will
every
move away from this
season.
and regroup with the rest of
I've
the
even
team.
hit diamond
At
3.
least you'd hope so. Alems is
Shaiko
gonna
in
get
is
caught
a
there,
nobody. I'm way better than him.
on the drone, and it is going to force Joker just to back up somewhat. He does have the goo mines that he can play around with. A little bit of an early warning system there for him. Lem's going to turn his attention elsewhere as he looks to drone out inside of green. Rafal this time on the Monty, just in order to gain that ground again.
Dude, you know what's actually hilarious? Something that I thought about. So the way that like the way that like Ubisoft runs Pro League now. So before the players used to own the spots, and now like the org like owns the spot. So like hypothetically speaking, I could just like buy a Pro League spot, like I don't know, like for NAL. I don't know, Mirage. They don't have any money. I could buy their spot out and then just like put myself on the team and just like I don't know, like 4 random subs from the stream every week.
But at the same time, one back from BDS. Go against
I'd have to just, I mean, you have to pick people
2 for 2
permanently,
on the
but
same shot as well. Made that very same kill in the previous round here and strikes true yet again to be able to knock out Joker. Gonna take a little bit of that peppered shot back out against him here though.
I mean, obviously it's not gonna happen, but
See the Monty trying to set him up for success, just
Too difficult
Dude,
to
me and
work
my
around
rank
with the
stack
kind
in
of
Pro
stack
League.
movement
We'll
parameters
buy
you
out.
get
We'll
from
buy out a
tapping Lego
spot.
of the key. He has to deal with another player from the Falcons' position on the back stairs as well. Huge crunch coming in, but this could leave a window of opportunity open. You have two other members of BDS that could try to play into the side construction entrance, maybe even exit this.
They're really
Go
just
back
like
in
pushing
through
backside
laundry also.
hard.
They're not taking that as an option, just going to try to brute force things here through construction. And the ignorance of the upstairs clears continue to slow them down. They'll catch one player moving across the site.
Yep, Zumi. Zumi, are you here? Zumi, you want to be in Pro League?
Rafal has moved himself even further.
We're buying
forward
Mirage
now
a spot.
to the very back corner of the pillar room, but still no sign of any realistic room for BDS to move themselves into the site just yet. They are held up ad infinitum until they can
I'll
get
pay you
this
in
entry.
half-eaten
Maybe
peanut
an
butter and jelly
opportunity here.
sandwiches.
No, not gonna happen, and even worse, the
You could
case
team
been
kill me
dropped
if you
in the
want.
middle
It'll
of
be
the
funny
site. O'Kills
content.
denies the play. He'll get adventurous, start to look for an opportunity to knock out the Montaigne. They'll actually trade positions too. Could end up being a little bit of a mistake here to an extent as it pushes the Falcons out of the site and allows for a plant to go down for BDS.
I'm not sure how BDS have gained site control there. We've literally just seen Falcons run away from site, a place that they had almost on lock, and now they are the attackers.
How did I know what
They are
rank you
looking to
hit?
push
I don't know. I
through
just
and
fucking
break
guessed.
this hold, and Renshiro's going mental, picking himself up too. Shaiko a plant and a kill to close out the round. That was a
Because I feel like plat
rotation there
1s,
made
diamond
by the
3s
Falcons,
talk the most
really
shit.
giving the round away to BDS.
Just an update with regards to our top kill bounty. We're giving away a $25,000 prize to the player with the most kills overall in
Payne
the
in
tournament.
Pro League.
Kills from the Falcons currently leads it, but Shaiko is behind him at the beginning of this series.
Bro, can you imagine if Payne was in, if I actually bought out like a pro team's like roster slot,
but by only 16
and then make me and like my rank stack on a team together? Dude, I'd be doing the interview and I'd have Payne screaming in the background, "Bro, shut your mouth, bro! Shut your mouth, bro! Shut your mouth!" Oh my god, that sounds like a nightmare. I'd rather set the money on fire.
It really does depend on how O'Kills keeps pace, because he could just nullify a lot of the kills that Shaiko is able to get here. But already we've only seen 2 rounds, and Shaiko is on 2.5 kills per round. It's going to be very close when push comes to shove right at the end. We may have to go through and rewatch a few VODs just to make sure that nobody has missed one.
I'm like in a 1v1 trying to clutch. Bro, he is engaged, bro! Bro! It's like, oh my god. I'm already thinking about it. It's the worst.
It all depends on how O'Kills is able to keep pace more so than anything. We know that Shaiko has been consistent over the course of this series. O'Kills is another question.
If Zumi was doing the interview,
in this round, going to take up the top position here in Small Tower. Wait to see if he can maybe strike.
these are not the Falcons from yesterday. I feel like they're like they're probably just lost 2 7-7s. Mentally, you got to be like, and this is like their first big international LAN event. At least from what I understand.
We've seen BDS struggle with these big tower takes before as well. Mad Skills.
There's not enough white noise in the headphones to block out Payne.
Nades are going to start flying through.
This tower position, I used to play this all the time. I used to love playing this.
All in aid to give a little bit more security here to the attackers trying to push on through. But they're going to have to deal with Mad Skills at some point.
If Zumi was doing the interview, Zumi would be like, well, we lost 7-0. But I don't really care. I ordered Domino's and doing a couple of tribal tattoos tomorrow, and yeah.
A bit of drone work going on at the back of rear stairs as well. Nothing really giving Mad Skills enough.
Also, if any Zumi would be like, if there's any single ladies out there, I'm looking for a girlfriend. Just saying. That would definitely be Zumi, dude. By the way, I just got a large Domino's. Large. There's extra slices. For me and a special someone. That would totally be Zumi, dude.
Now they need to focus up on the site clear itself. See J-Lad still in position here on this very top corner. Knows he's going to be challenged sooner rather than later here. And unfortunately,
Zumi would definitely be the guy. Nice!
At least one more shot against Shaiko. Lems, though,
BDS is frying them right now, man.
Now that leaves O'Kills alone in the 1v3.
Yeah, you would do that. If anybody needs an oil change, I could change the oil. It's not a problem. I feel like Zumi, if Zumi was like sitting there for like a Valentine's Day date or something, he would definitely be the kind of person to get like the Domino's like heart pizza. That man eats Domino's like daily.
Either the players on their post-plant transition either. We'll have some intel onto the cafeteria player, but I'm not sure if he's aware of the one that's gone back up on top. Flash will full white his screen for at least 2 to 3 seconds.
Geico is 6-1. Do they even know he's defusing?
Ooh!
Above?
We've already seen him do this before. Can he do it a second time? Ready to contend against the
He had an insane clutch earlier.
Tricks him off first. No kills. He's sticking this one though. Nope. Off of it to try and take it, but Alems gets the better of it, and BDS sink in a 3rd round.
It's going to feel pretty good for Alems in particular.
Flaws?
Cash your mind back to
I feel like Flaws would just like stoically be sitting there.
Similar situation. Rafal and Alems, actually, if I recall correctly, and it was one that BDS ended up losing. So keeping control in the post plant hasn't been something that has always come so easily here to BDS inside of this series, but they get the job done regardless.
Zumi would immediately bankrupt our org by ordering like unlimited amounts of Dominoes. Ain would drive everyone crazy and drive the house into chaos.
To the other already in this series. But it is not over until that last round is played. So regardless of BDS's current advantage, you can't count the.
I feel like Flaws would just be sitting there, just wondering what's happening and how he got into this situation.
Fall by the wayside for BDS as they've gone up 5-1 after the initial half.
And I feel like Newt would just leave.
Still was not able to take
Newt was our, I guess Newt's our 5th.
Full distance in overtime.
I feel like Newt would definitely leave.
Close things down for themselves. So. Doubt BDS is going to be feeling too secure about their position just yet. We need a little bit more of a convincing run here. Now, if we end up 5-1 or 6-0 on the attacking side, maybe, just maybe, they'll have that extra confidence here. But even then,
yeah, no. I feel like
might want to put second thoughts on that, as they are indeed, I believe, taking a tactical pause from the Falcons now. Certainly
if Newt was our 5th, I could just imagine Newt.
The full gauntlet be run from BDS. So the out-of-game
I gotta go, bud. I gotta go.
Gotta
go. That's what he always does anyways when we're playing, and he has to like, he has to go. I gotta go, bud. I gotta go.
BDS have chose to approach this side in a very one-dimensional and horizontal.
I feel like Gunvetta should be our 5th.
Alems out there to be a solo roam clear. And he's been successful in doing so. He's often picked up 1 kill.
Just to drive Zumi crazy.
I don't think he's ever actually made it in onto the site when he's been given that task. But regardless, BDS.
Who's my favorite NA team? Probably DZ overall, I'd say. Probably DZ.
Shaiko. He's very regularly picked up 3 kills attacking onto this laundry site, oftentimes from behind the Monty shield, which isn't going to be brought this time. Instead, there's a much more heavy focus on hard breach here, Blue. We've actually got 3 hard breaches being brought.
Definitely probably going to see a much more vertical focus take or traditional take from BDS here. We had a fuse soft blocked at the beginning of the prep phase as well. Obviously, that got re-picked away.
Gun.
It was Renshiro who had it at the time. But it gives us a good
I would only want a team with Gun is because he would drive Zumi crazy, and Zumi would be driving me crazy, and then Pain would also be driving me crazy. So I need Gun to drive Pain and Zumi crazy to like maintain my sanity.
Player's already in position to counter that, but it won't matter. His mad skills. Shaiko beautifully played.
Dear Lord, Shaiko is eating up right now.
Taps on the Kotos to make sure that he himself does not get taken down. They've got good intel onto this push coming in over towards Laundry Stairs. They won't be fended off by that either. Falcons once again on the back foot of this situation here. Gonna have to try and make up for it.
Shaiko just narrowly missing out on his own nade there as he got caught in the magnet. A couple of opening picks has really made things a lot easier.
You're not even joking, you're always plat 1 diamond 3 and all you do is solo queue and duo queue. How do you rank up in high diamond? I mean, just play for the team. Play support.
Getting himself back onto the site.
Drone. Yeah, Shaiko wants, well the thing is too, is Shaiko will, if they win, he'll probably get MVP as well. So he'll get the kill leader thing, which is 25k, and he'll get MVP, which is 100k. So it's like 125k. They win.
Nice little snipes that we're always seeing from the Falcons that seem to breathe life into their rounds, especially when they have these bunkers built up.
Batman is gonna immediately leave. If he wins, he's immediately gonna leave and just go buy an S class.
Had a great swing themselves to
Like an
start it
S-Class
out, so
Benz, dude.
count them out
Actually,
of
that probably
play
wouldn't even
just
get you
yet
an
here.
S-Class Benz.
Time
At
is
least not the
certainly
big
starting to
ones.
get the better of them. As long as we
Yeah, that would all go
continue
to
see this
him.
play in Freezer. Meet the site though. Should be on a good pace. Able to still shut things down and have a good amount of excess behind it. It's that next kill that's been evading them though. Rafal knows he's got someone playing around with him here on the inside of the laundry closet. Just can't lock down that player's position exactly. Count starting to get just a tad low for these guys as most are immobile. You really only have about 2 left on the active players that can still be moved deeper into this site.
The Goyo Canister going to cut off a good deal of time there on
There's
the Freezer
20%
push.
tax in Saudi Arabia.
Punch hole to be working with. It's gonna be
I don't
difficult
really
to
know how
find
like the
to,
tax
especially
laws work
if you
for
assume
that, but I
everybody has been
think,
flashed, although Breeder hits him with the swing. Fantastic
if I'm not
game that
mistaken,
Breeder had
he would
over
just
on
pay
Hiller, and
taxes.
that's
He's
starting
from
to
France, so he would just pay.
translate
He would just pay
into
French
J-Lad gonna be lining
taxes.
up his next victim. This is
Or
gonna
if
be a
he
huge
paid
kill if he's able to
taxes,
get
you
it.
could
Shuts
deduct
one
that
down,
amount of
goes
tax
for
that you
second,
play.
drops the shotgun and achieves the down.
There we
Final
go.
kill comes in from Joker as BDS are kept out of the basement.
J-Lad definitely getting the gold star for that round. From the snipe he got through the hatch to his heroic hold just on the outside of the freezer wall.
Yeah, I don't know about that because like that's taxes from like I'm not an accountant anyway, but like I would assume generally speaking, you wouldn't pay taxes from prize money. I don't think in your. I'm sure you win it in, but sometimes you do. Like it's kind of weird. Sometimes you do, but other times you don't, and then you would pay prize money. Taxes, they don't count as income. You'd pay it like taxes in France or whatever. But sometimes you get taxed from the country that you're in, and you get taxed for whatever's remaining at home. Sometimes you get taxed for the full amount. It just depends. I don't know. Like different countries have different laws, and honestly, I don't even know how it works in the U.S. Exactly. I forgot.
All it takes is for Falcons to get one round though, and the crowd, they come alive, they all of a sudden start the chants.
But either way, people that complain about taxes when some like you're making a lot, like when you're like getting a big prize or whatever, are the same people that are like, I don't even want to like I'm not saying to play the lottery. Like playing the lottery doesn't like logically make a ton of sense. They're like, I'm not gonna play the lottery. I don't even want to win the lottery. I'll have to pay taxes. It's like, bro, if you're winning the lottery,
going the full distance both times is certainly gonna be a heartbreaker. Mad skills though continues to show us his own
if you're winning the lottery for like $1 billion and you have like 20, you're paying like over half of it in taxes. Who cares? You're still like getting hundreds of millions of dollars.
Making an appearance every once in a while, and this one manages to grab about half the damage off of Kotos, and they're also going to try to excel, push this forward a little bit further here too. Look, they managed to catch 2 players. They're still setting up the site. Shaiko gets away with another double kill.
When it rains, it pours, especially in Shaiko land.
Shaiko is eating up.
Back-to-back frags there. Really important operators.
No, literally, there were people in chat that were talking about, and there was like the lottery was like 1.2 billion or whatever. Like the guy's only gonna get half a billion. He's gonna be struggling to eat. I'm like, bro, the winner of a 1.2 billion dollar lottery gets to net like whatever 400 or 500 million, whatever it is, like after taxes and taking the lump sum and stuff. It's like, dude, like, like really?
He's going to be there ready to dish out the damage. Just take a good amount of himself. He's also going to be a player inside of Attic as well, and is almost caught between a rock and a hard place. Does manage to achieve the kill, but gets downed in process. J-Lad not going to find the angle to finish that player off.
Thinking that.
Adrenal Surge will pick Renshiro up just in the nick of time. J-Lad isn't cognizant of that. He might get caught out here, especially if he goes for a bit of an aggressive play. Doesn't need to land too many shots though. Will chip Renshiro down a little bit further, but his attention needs to be paid elsewhere at the moment, as there is a push coming in through the trophy. Eventually shuts Renshiro down.
Nice. This is very winnable. Very winnable round.
Has been popped. Toxic Babe canister is going to start to dissipate here, but BDS still have tons of time to play with.
BDS though getting held up in that very same phase of the round that haunted them back on round number 4 here. Not able to make their way past that breach threshold.
Yeah, well, if they didn't ban, they were banning Knock because Alems is going ham on Knock.
So could not justify the play, and now has left the window open for refrags to come out for the Falcons. J-Lad downs one, can't peek for the confirmation on the Shaiko, however.
Does he have another adrenal
lit up by that also, as he's going to be down to about 20 or 30 HP. Thankfully, because of the denial here against JLab, they'll be able to bring Shaiko back up. But the bad news, look at this utility. No more adrenal surge. He's already used all 3 of them, so the HPs are staying in
Nice,
place.
nice.
Takes out both the players.
Nice.
And it gets the white stairs push as well. So the
There we
Falcons
go.
put themselves in this one away now from the tie at 3-3.
Mad skills in the right place at the right time there. BDS forced in through single doorways. They didn't have an opportunity to get the breach open, and they had no pressure coming in from the double window. That double window is, of course, crucial, and oftentimes that's where you'll have your flank watch playing. Lem's getting taken out a little bit earlier on into that round. Did remove that from being a possibility. And it's kind of surprising, especially given the fact that we saw Shaiko pick up those 2 really important kills. You would expect BDS to be able to capitalize on that, but they really just got caught in the weeds inside.
The crowd is definitely, yeah, the crowd is like awesome, dude.
BDS don't know what to do with themselves, it seems, when they get the kills necessary to work their way into the site. This has caused them to lose 2 direct rounds back-to-back now, being caught up at that threshold. Great entry capability, they just seem to suddenly be thrusted into that position, though, and don't necessarily know how to follow it up.
Taxes. Dude, I always think of the Apollo, like, what is it's like the, Armageddon. Have you guys ever seen Armageddon, that movie? And there's, like, they're doing the thing where it's, like, they're like, negotiating when they're about to, like, go save the Earth, and they're going on an asteroid. So basically, like, the premise, the movie's called Armageddon. The premise of the movie is that there's, like, an asteroid coming through Earth, and it's gonna, like, kill everyone. They need to go on, they need to fly onto the asteroid. They need to drill into the asteroid and they put like a bomb in it to blow it in half so it misses the Earth. So they need like these like oil drillers to go on it, and Bruce Willis is like the star. So like when they're talking, they're about to like go to like fly on this asteroid in like this dangerous mission where they will probably all die. Like potentially, like they're like, all right, we'll save the Earth, but they're like, we have a few demands, and like one there's I forgot what it was. It was like. There was like, oh, this guy has a felony, this guy has a felony, and then they're like the one guy, they're like, oh, and like they have one final request. They have one final request. They don't want to pay taxes ever again. That's what that like reminded me of when you just said that.
Falcons level things up.
Falcons indeed keeping it even, finding a very important kill here also. O'Kill is going to be trying to add himself into the equation by positioning him just around that hatch. No one else from the
And the dude from the government who's like the whole world is about to like end is just like, okay, I think we can make this happen.
They do have the easy capability to try and knock out the back of the stage wall here. Thankfully, they brought the EMPs on the Thatcher. Breedy, of course, in the thermite makes it all the easier to follow that through. Something they've had access to throughout the series.
It's pretty funny. That's a good movie, by the way. If you haven't seen Armageddon, it's a great movie.
They don't want to skip any steps here, despite the fact that we're already encroaching on the 1 minute mark. They want to try and take this as carefully as possible. They can establish the harassment from the top down as much as they'll look to do from the back of stage.
Breedy going to get in all the angles open required. There is an Oster Shield upstairs as well that's going to assist with that garage hole.
Good old Bob Thornton.
Also going to be playing deep in behind flags. BDS might need a little bit of a two-pronged push here to try and destabilize some of this defensive prowess that Falcons have set up. Ranchero just struggling to get rid of that Kiba barricade. He's going to look to try and flash out the player.
They're falling on the hatch now again.
Get the angle on it. So it will now disappear as the balls do come through. Rafal is going to be successful there, taking down O-Kills.
Yeah, I'm talking about Armageddon. You hate old movies, dude. Armageddon's a classic. How dare you speak ill of Armageddon?
Still got a small matter of players deep in the site, hiding out. We've got Joker.
It's not even that old. Armageddon's from like the 90s, right, or early 2000s.
Great pick over onto Ranchero. J-Lad won just before that. And all of a sudden, Falcons have the advantage. A kill will come in from the hatch. Rafal, he's had 3 on the round.
Oh, well.
Don't forget he got the opener against Mad Skills as well. 2 versus 2 now as Breedy joins in on the party. He does have the case in pocket, and he's going to look to try and get a plant down right now. Timer hitting 0, and Kotos, does he have the info? Goes for the C4 toss. It's a bit of a Hail Mary. The plant will be confirmed, but
no!
Breedy
I thought he had that.
Confirms the plant and the final kill.
It was from
close to the Falcons,
'99.
but that last player ultimately just grasping at straws.
It's a
for the
great
clutch.
movie, chat.
Doesn't have the intel, as you mentioned, on the plant position. So
It's a great
ground goes the
movie.
way of
If you
BDS.
haven't
They
seen it,
lock
you
in
should.
the advantage.
Honestly, I
Just
think you
barely
could
afford it to. Either way, it's success by normal
there's like one of those like
standards here, but
free
just want
TV
the
services
expectation, given the way
that
the
you can
Lord
just
played out
stream
at
it
this
for
event.
free.
Really attacker's side, and even yesterday's game for BDS played out that same way. They'll look to take the edge yet again here against the Falcons, but who has their own defensive prowess increased.
There's actually like some like free TV services and stuff now that have like legitimate movies on them, and they're not like piracy websites.
BDS's turn to take
They're just
over
like
the
actually
defense
free.
now. We're gonna be going downstairs.
No, I think it's called like Tubi or something. I don't know. I have it on Roku. That's actually how I watched it recently.
Again, just in order to circumvent
Yeah,
some
like
of those
Tubi or
flashes
whatever
that
it
are likely
is.
gonna be thrown
So
in.
you watch
Bit of an
ads
off
in
pick
between the
from
movie, like every
Falcons
like
right now.
30
J-Lad
minutes.
is
There's like a
actually
minute
hovering
ad or
the capital
something.
there. He's gone
But you
onto
can watch
more
like a
traditional
big
sledge
selection of
again at
movies,
Hibana,
honestly,
so
for
really
free.
switching things around and keeping us guessing. I was looking forward to a little bit of Capital play. It looks like we might still see it. As Mad Skills is hovering for the time being. I imagine that
Peacock
will
is
get
free.
locked in at this
Yeah,
point.
Peacock, if you have like Comcast or like a bunch of different services, you can get that for free too.
And you do get the benefit of that
You could like watch a bunch of
secondary
movies
hard
for
breach
free.
should you need it, but you're more looking towards
I
those
honestly
smoke
just rent
arrows
them
and
for
the fire arrows. It's really
I
giving
rent
out a
them
little
from
bit of
Prime
area
Video
for
mostly.
fire,
If they're not available
vision.
for free off of like so I have like Netflix, Peacock, like Disney Plus, like a bunch of those like services or whatever. Some of them are mine that I pay for. Most of them I share with family or friends, and they share mine. Thoughts on Comcast? Trash. To be deleted off. Like, I hope they go bankrupt. Anyway, yeah, if it's not any of those, then I just rent it off Amazon Prime Video. I mean, it's only like $3 to rent a movie or $4 on Prime Video, so it's not too bad. I know you could watch anything for free, but I don't know. I have Comcast. I do not like Comcast, but I don't know. They're whatever. They're fine. They were way like it just annoys me because sometimes they have like huge issues in my area and they way overcharge for the service that they provide. But I mean, they're all right lately, I guess.
They went for a very direct line into the site and sort of forgot about any sort of vertical control, but the Falcons are looking to take that work through the hatches.
Fried, Almir. Fried.
In those key locations like Freezer, like Blue Bunker, so they can have a well-rounded execute when the time calls. We look to try and burn out here as a little bit of soft.
Yeah, basically what Comcast does is they have like obscenely high prices, and then as soon as competition comes in the area, they magically lower them and have better service.
As we
Kinda crazy.
reinforced it with one of our panels. A heavy stack up of Falcons players here at the bottom of Laundry, as we do see the fire arrows come through now. Smoke.
Honestly,
nice
deserved,
visuals,
Almir.
and fire
Deserved.
arrows to go a little bit deeper. Toxic Babes cuts everything off, and kills now starting to come in. 2 for the Falcons before Alems is able to respond with 2 of his own. It's
There we
gonna get
go.
shut down there though by Mad Skills as the fire is still dissipating in and around the site, and Rafal and Breede.
There we go.
Scratch that. Only Breede alive draws it into the 1 versus 2, but with the plank going down, he needs to be very cautious as to how he approaches this one.
He actually missed the smoke, but it literally saved him.
Take another tick of the Toxic Babe, but hits the rotation and catches Breede in the reload.
Breede playing it all correctly up until that final push. Wasn't expecting the Falcons to get directly aggressive against him in the midst of the
What's my
reload, so
favorite
finally
90s
drops the
movie?
clutch
Probably
there.
Armageddon,
Very well
honestly.
played, though.
I love
Unfortunately,
since that's
members
99.
of
I love
BDS
Armageddon.
just not
That
able
movie's
to take
great.
out against that Capital utility.
Fight Club is good too. Fight Club's from the 90s, right? I actually just bought Fight Club on DVD.
Just wasn't enough to stem the tide. Falcons push their way directly past it. They're able to win out the trade war in the depths of the site to be able to claim round number 7 for themselves here and still keep their hopes alive.
I
Only
did.
1 round away again from tying us up in what would be a 4-4 scoreline. BDS, this last round was a bit of a fluke though. They're going to go for the retry one more time here in the basement before more than likely moving on to their second floor.
Buying
on round 9,
DVDs.
irregardless of the result.
I don't know. There's certain like movies that I want to like own. You know, I have Armageddon as well. Actually, I don't.
Didn't really
That's at my
go their
parents'
way,
house.
but
I'm
there
gonna buy it
were
right
some
now.
things that could be changed,
$6 on
slight
Amazon.
adjustments that could be made.
I'm buying
Shaco
it.
already going to be switching out things onto the Malusi instead. The Falcons rocking a very similar lineup, so BDS likely going to be ready for the Capital this time and that heavy stack up in Laundry. Freezer hold was largely successful from Alems as well. It all really came down to that push and that utility exchange in through Freezer.
Certain movies I like to buy. It depends. Not like everything, but certain movies, yeah.
Stop that being such a big problem here.
If they're like really good in their classics, like actually owning it is nice. Because then you don't have to rent it over and over again. If it's like a lot of those older movies too, you like have to buy them or else you have to like, you buy digital movies. I'd rather buy like the physical one. It's kind of nice. If I'm gonna buy one, yeah, I would rather just rent. Most stuff I don't rewatch. It's very rare that I rewatch stuff. But if it's a movie that I'm willing to rewatch, then I'll buy a DVD for it. I mean, they're honestly really cheap now. They're like $3, $4, $5.
It's not as if they can just say, Shaco, go kill. They need to be playing as a team, and as such, we can see them all stacked on the basement. A full 5-man turtle here as they have gone. We don't need to roam. We don't need to risk giving ourselves up for free because we know that Falcons are very proficient in that early round.
You also get resolution upgrades.
Somebody like Mad Skills to know that they are more than capable of picking up those important entry kills. We are going to see a bit of an attempt at an electrical trick here onto the hatch. Alems is going to be tasked with that job for the time being. Secondary hard breach gadget will be placed down. It looks as though Alems may have found the time in there, but only just.
Just barely played out there by our defenders. Is going to be able to properly deny things. Other EMP ready to go, however, to get that out of the way. Mad Skill's not immediately in position to throw. The canister down on top of it, however. So see if there's more delay in the opening of that, as things will just be managed with the X-Kairos coming out.
Used to get VHS tapes.
More easy to manage for J-Led and the rest of the squad there. And finally, they have their opening on Alems. Can fully focus on denying the play from back pillar, but Mad Skills going to be using the Cap Tower in a little bit of a different fashion this time, trying to send himself in through the back end of this, smoking out the right corner at the bottom of those stairs, but no real follow-through on that for many of these players. Are going to start to see that, though, as it looks like they may try to go, and indeed, they are going to hop directly into electrical. We'll see how it works out, as so far it's an even 1-to-1 exchange. Another member of BDS has been down, but Alems also fully taking out a member of the Falcons, with Joker falling down. Just quick to confirm. Over there on to Red Shiro, taking
3v3,
the numbers
winnable,
now.
winnable.
3v3, but things seem to freeze past that point. Falcons, what's your next move? As you got to get a little bit deeper to get into the site.
Brede got a tough task here to try and hold on to.
I actually have a VHS player.
Over onto Mad Skills. Brede eventually finds the pick.
I only have nice.
Is O'Kill's left in the
1v2, winnable.
Inside of blue, one player inside of Freezer. He's
Remember the timing?
where both of these players are. The case cold on the ground, not going to be a factor here.
Oh, he has to push a shoddy. This is tough.
Engagement, and he swings and
Dude, if I use that shotgun in that situation, I die for sure. No question.
Tighter in that round for the Falcons. BDS not looking too stretched when push came to shove.
BDS are just 2 rounds away now from upgrading their prize pool, already guaranteed $250,000 by just making it to this phase of the event. Stands in front of them, though. It's not only going to be the trophy in the middle of the stage, but also an upgrade to $400,000 in the first place purse if they can complete the set here by winning out. Very well could be the final map of this series. Falcons have to start getting a little stressed.
It's land. It still wouldn't work for me. Bro, that shotgun never works for me. I point blank people with it all the time and it does not work.
That prize likely to be boosted up to.
I would do like 20 damage and get cooked.
The tournament gets $100,000. Kill lead gets $25,000. We've discussed already that Shaco is going to struggle to try and catch up to O-Kills, at least if this ends here and now on Oregon. But if we go a little bit deeper into the series, there's nothing to say that he wouldn't win that as well.
Am I aiming when I shoot? Yes, that gun does not work for me, bro. I'm telling you. That shotgun is directly, okay, it's directly correlated to how much you believe in it, okay? I have zero faith in that shotgun to net me a kill. So because I have no faith in it, it never works for me.
Out on the board yet again.
It never works. I get fried every time I take that gun. I still use it for rotates and stuff, but like, dude, I like taking SMG-11 half the time.
See a much more active play come out from Renshiro. He'll extend himself once again into this armory position. Been seeing a few players play into it.
Nice.
Support for
Dodge
Master.
Lad.
Nothing there to watch out for it. So J-Lad waltzes right in and makes very, very quick.
No, that thing just doesn't work.
Ooh, Lems.
That thing just doesn't work.
Time to shoot the barricade, my friend. Mad Skills is there. He's going to deploy a nade to finish the kill nice and quickly. Save him, getting himself all the way
Nice.
into tower.
2 early picks.
2 openers for
Got
the
2 minutes 10 seconds left. That's
incredibly
huge.
Difficult for BDS to try and keep a hold of here. You think about all the different areas that you want to try and keep an eye on, whether that's White Stairs, in through Trophy. You're going to be worried about Attic a little bit as well.
Nico, Pra, thank you very much for the sub. Much appreciated.
Push comes through. He's going to spend a long time rotating to go and help his teammates. And that's even if you can make that rotation successful. There is a presence of Falcon players.
Oh no, headshots don't have headshot. Sorry, shotguns do not have headshot multipliers. They used to, back when they were good.
Falcons with no real reason to fear at the moment, especially with the +2 advantage they are working.
Honestly, they should bring back super broken shotguns. No, I'm kidding. Those things were actually just too crazy.
On the inside of Master, they use this as a springboard point to push themselves over into the site, but at the same time, there's at least one element of this defense that's yet to have been dealt with here. O'Kills knows he has one player from BDS sitting on the inside.
He's right there. Nice.
So smart from O'Kills here. He knew he
Great
had
bait.
that mute jammer sitting directly below him. Also gonna follow it through the second one as well. Brede goes down.
Nice.
Doesn't even get to see the
Gorgeous
player that
take.
kills him. It's
Literally a
surgical
flawless
for the
take.
Falcons, as they absolutely shut down the defense coming in from BDS on that upstairs hold.
Flawless round from the Falcons, really punishing any extension that BDS wanted to try on that top floor defense. We had Renshiro barely extended into Armory and ended up getting taken out from Master Bedroom. Lems suffered some real unfortunate timing. As soon as he popped the barricade, bang, he was sent to the cameras. Difficult round straight from the off for BDS to try and work around there. They'll likely just scratch that one down to a bad experience and look to make some changes.
No, I hope. Dude, what a storyline this would be if they come back here. Imagine like they come back, 7-5 win. They go to the next map, win. Next map, win. Literally invite all over again.
Action that led to 2 of their players going down. On top of their kind of inability to get aggressive past that point, despite the fact that they were certainly set up from it. Not going to see a whole lot in changes to that regard either here from BDS, looking like they'll generally attempt to go for the same type of setup, but we are going to see the Azami get rotated out of it instead this time. Definitely not going to be going for that play into Arsenal. We saw how quickly that was dealt with. They just didn't have the manpower to appropriately defend that, so they'll focus the defense a little bit more so on Trophy while still keeping the security play alive from the looks of it.
Let's see what opportunities Falcons can find themselves in the opening part of this round. They've been very successful in that opening pick. We've often caught BDS unawares and unprepared. BDS looks to be playing things a little bit closer to their chest here and now, though.
Falcons? I think they look great, dude. They only, like, technically BDS is winning, like, 2-0 right now, but I honestly think Falcons look great. They lost both games in 8-7, so they lost by 1 round. They look great. They look like a, like, T1 pro caliber team. Like, I feel like they could go to any region right now and compete. NA, EU, APAC, Brazil, they could play in any region and be like a compete.
And there we can see it is going to detonate. The wall now will be open, giving Falcons a clean line of sight into the objective.
Step 1 completed. We'll have to see how much more they'll look to build up for themselves, though, whether it's just going to be support from the rappel or an attempt to move themselves in on a secondary angle such as big windows.
This is map 3 right now.
More than likely being deployed by the Falcons, but do they have the confidence to move in? Obviously not.
Yep, so we already had Bank and Villa. BDS won both maps 8-7, so they only won by 1 round.
Towards the threshold areas like the top of the White Stairs where Renshiro still maintains positioning. Still the security element alive and well 200. Sure, we'll be able to help out on that from the top side. Smoke's going to start to work themselves in. We do see the Capital play, and now here comes the pinch, trying to work themselves through walk-in. But so
nice.
a good defense being put up initially, but kills
nice.
working together to fend off more of that interior site pressure.
4v3
on the lower end
work
of
the
this
plant,
one.
easy peasy. Always jumping up.
Try to come in on a late flank here. Wants to hop up. Not sure if he needs to go for it though, but the second guessing is costing him hugely.
Beautiful.
With the full site control, has now left
4v1.
alone.
Easy.
Have a chance. Joker reads him like a book, shuts him down, and it's another round for the Falcons.
Leveled up at 5 rounds apiece here, and the crowd is getting increasingly louder as these rounds tick on by. We've almost got ringleaders.
The crowd is hype.
Now turning around and looking at the crowd, getting them all geared up for what is to come. Could Oregon be the map that Falcons finally break this streak of coming back, going to overtime, and just not getting it over the line? Once again, they have come back from an incredible round deficit, and they stand level here with BDS. 5 rounds apiece, moving into round number 11. Back down to the basement we go for what is going to be one of these teams onto a map point.
It's 2,500 channel points in this game. I just hope Falcons bring it back, man. That'd be sick. I feel like it'd be like a great storyline.
To be able to find number 7, that'll become the big problem for them, and becomes the siren call for what could very realistically again become a 3rd consecutive overtime here, as our previous 2 maps not only went to that overtime, but ended up going to all 3 rounds as well. It's been a fully loaded gauntlet for both of these teams, and they can't seem to escape it. Even if BDS finds success here, they've got a pocket strat up their sleeve for the first floor hold. They need some serious adjustments to the second floor play. They go back to it if they're going to look to try and claim number 7 on
Was the
that
referee
side.
do listen to comms? The referee is just standing behind them, like making sure everything's good, pretty much. I think they do have access to their comms too.
Toe to toe against BDS. They have what it takes to win a basement attack. Never the easiest thing in the world to achieve, and so far they have struggled. BDS have done a great job of holding firm downstairs. O'Kills has already got himself into a good situation on these back stairs, ready and waiting to take any opportunity that he may find, waiting obviously for some of his teammates to get into position.
Has anybody ever cheated in Pro League?
I
mean, like a long time ago, they used to catch people from time to time. But it's been a long time. It's like back before like Battle Eye was even a thing.
Came down to a bit of a Hail Mary electrical hatch drop. They never really go too well.
So Siege used to not have an anti-cheat back in the day. So there were some people who like, there were actually like a few people who either like cheated or got banned for cheating, but they claimed, the ones that got banned for cheating claimed they never cheated in Pro League. They claimed that they only got banned because they cheated in ranked, but who knows.
Just whipping out these Rotero drones one after another, making quick work of the interior site utility.
This is pre-Battle Eye.
Floodgates open for the Falcons to make a confident push at some point in the next 20.
Siege barely has an anti-cheat nowadays.
Second thoughts against it, and Joker, a little bit of a mistake there as they end up knocking out one of their own drones. Still 4 others though, so shouldn't be a huge takeaway from them yet. Shaiko wants to go for the swing, but instead finds a lonely target in O'Kills hiding out there at the bottom of the stairs. Knocks him out smoothly, gets another one before being traded by Kotos. However, the members of the Falcons, they're losing players far too quickly here.
4v2, winnable still. 3v1. Lems is low.
On the trade from Kotos because he's still held back by a toxic bait, and now he's left alone in the 1v3. Needs to go for a Hail Mary clutch here. No idea where to reach for his aim and where to find any one of these 3 players, but still going to be trying to move in and negotiate it regardless. Kotos going for the check on every single angle, trying to be so careful, but now that he's been revealed, has to watch his flank as well. That player deeper into the site from BDS can begin pinching against him. Doesn't seem like they want to go for it though. They're happy to play this out on the time. Maybe the very same way they're able to get Kotos with one. Can he be the hero yet again for this squad here? He's found that first pickup against Renshiro, but running out of time. And now
8 seconds. He'll check close, I believe.
Try and route himself in towards it, but he's missed the player in freezer.
Nice try.
NT.
BDS
again to get up to map point first.
Map and series point here for BDS inside of our grand finals. Falcons just falling far too quickly there on their attack inside of basement. BDS standing firm. Shaiko living up to his spot. You don't get a spot named after you in the game unless you know it inside and out, and it's a joy to watch him play in that location. Everything is calculated. He knows every single angle, every single pixel. It was a big part of the way that round ended up playing out for BDS. That and the patience that they exhibited. Even in a 3 versus 1, they were not going for swings. They were looking to waste that clock as much as humanly possible, giving the credit and the respect to the Falcons, knowing what that team is capable of. You cannot afford to give them an inch. Here we go into meeting what could be the last round of the night.
BDS going to make an attempt at their first floor hold. We talked about this at the beginning of the last round. BDS not having the greatest results on their upstairs plays. They're going to go for the Hail Mary tertiary site and see if this will yield better results for them. We got some interesting attacker repicks coming out here for the Falcons. It's notably going to be coming back in here for Mad Skills. Able to try and use that Gara hook, maybe even the secondary hard breach utility. Could just be for the G8 as well. But oftentimes we see her picked in.
I think they got this. They're doing in what, a meeting kitchen hold? They should be able to get this. I've been rooting for Falcons, but let's see what happens.
A little bit more quiet on map number 2, but it's certainly come alive.
I'm just coping. Well, I want them to win. I do.
Certainly will have something to fear if he's put into the correct position to frag out.
I really want to see where this Gara hook gets used, if it's an attempt to gain quick control of tower, or alternatively, you can, of course, move through a hatch with it. You can go from...
They have full control really quickly.
Alternatively, as you say, it might...
But they do have somebody above on hatch.
Everything is on the line.
Do they have smokes? No smokes that I can see, so... The only thing I can think of is if they rush up and push this guy upstairs, but they have, like, security control, and they have upstairs control. So it's gonna be up to Joker to like flank this.
Hatch open, so he could look to try and throw some utility up through. Gara hook there, as predicted, is gonna be an attempt to take quick control of this top floor, and it is gonna result in a nice early kill onto Renshiro.
Renshiro a little bit off on his own, so playing a risky
top control pretty easy. Joker's coming from below.
BDS trying to peek out over here towards Attic in an attempt to catch the refrag, but no, it's gonna come from deeper inside. Instead, Mad Skills tries to escape down the hatch, but Greedy is waiting for him on the lower end. That evens out the exchange, brings us back into an even 4 versus 4. J-Lad getting a peek from someone on BDS, but he doesn't want the challenge. He needs to commit himself to this clear. They cannot have the confidence to move themselves into the cycle. The threat sits from above, but it won't work out for J-Lad. He'll be lost to Shaiko, and oh no, J-Lad, he took the case with him up there. Rafal closes it down with Shaiko, and that's gonna do it, ladies and gentlemen. BDS shut it down, and they will claim the championship here at Gamers8.
Fantastic run for BDS, not dropping a single map in their entire group and going flawless in the finals.
Honestly though, okay, all I know you guys are you know,
that these 5 players have displayed here for us today.
I still think
said that BDS have never won a major championship. Well, they can hang their heads high now, knowing that they take home $400,000.
I seriously think though, I will say that Falcons played really well, and I do think, even though like they got technically 3-0'd, they realistically, like, they lost 8-7, 7-8, 7-8, and they lost like what, 5-7. I mean, for like, I don't know, for like
even just looking at the matchup yesterday, we had seen some rocky things for this squad, especially for their defensive end of play, but able to make quick corrections on that. And even though they had to go to full distance in the first 2 maps, all the way to the 15th.
Well, Shaiko got his first win on something, I guess.
And then lock things in at the bitter end of regulation here.
I don't know if Shaiko got the kills reward. He definitely will get MVP, I think.
You can see just exactly what this means.
The MVPs with 100K. The kills reward is like 25K.
And they've always looked very relaxed, always looked very comfortable, and this is finally their moment.
Here they are, ladies and gentlemen, your champions of Gamers8 2022. It's BDS.
Hey, congrats. I mean, I'm still happy for them too. You know, they've never won anything before. I would have liked to see Falcons win. Let's see, that's a quality trophy. Look. Look, they're all like holding it. It seems like is it like granite or something?
Congratulations to BDS. You are the Gamers8 champions. LMs, I'm going to come to you, buddy. I mean, the maps were extremely close, we have to admit. What an incredible fight Falcons put up, but you ultimately
I know.
took the win.
Dude, that's nicer than my invite trophy. I'm being dead serious when I say that.
Right now.
To be honest, we are feeling extremely happy. I mean, this is our first international win as a team, so obviously we couldn't be more happy. And yeah, I'm proud of those guys because like 2 years we are playing together, and yeah, like we played very well this tournament. This is like how we are supposed to play, and like I'm so happy.
فريق بي دي اس هذا اول فوز لهم على انترناشونال ستيج، وكانوا يتكلمون على نقطه انهم جدا فخورين انهم قدروا يوصلون للمرحله هذه. لهم سنتين يلعبوا مع بعض كروستر وما كان عندهم فرصه يثبتون انفسهم، واخيرا قدروا يثبتون انفسهم معنا في جيمرز 8 في رينبو 6 سيج. وفخور
The invite trophy is when Siege had 2 players. That's a weird way to say that there were more viewers at invite when I played with no drops than there is at invite nowadays.
Your chance to say as well to the cameras, to the people at home, is there anything that you would like to say to your fans and to your families who have supported you throughout this entire tournament?
Yeah, thanks to all the fans that still believe in us after like our disappointed performance in the European League. Can I say something in French? Ok, merci à tous les Français qui nous soutiennent, les gars, merci beaucoup. Cette victoire, elle est pour vous. Et si vous vous demandez comment on a gagné, bah, c'est grâce à c'est parce qu'on est abonné à Mazdak. Voilà, tout simplement.
I don't know what he said, but...
Well, thank you so much, Alent, and thank you so much to BDS. You guys have played incredibly well. Everyone in the Gamers8 arena, please give it up one more time for your champions, BDS! What an incredible tournament. Thank you so much to everyone who took part, to all the players, to everyone in production for creating this fantastic studio, this amazing stage. It's been absolutely unbelievable. And of course, my co-host Fancy, you've been amazing. And to everyone at the casting desk, you guys are brilliant. We're going to send it back over to the desk so they can round out the day. And what an incredible day it was.
للمرة الثانية ألف مبروك الفريق بي دي اس على فوزهم، فعلا استحقوا الفوز. جو من الجروب
Shaka was shorter than me.
ما خسروا ولا ماب، واخيرا وصلوا للبلاي اوفز واثبتوا انفسهم من جديد.
I don't think that's possible.
وكانت فعلا مستحقة انهم يفوزوا معنا، يكونون هم الشامبيونز معنا في جيمرز 8. الف شكر لكل الحضور المتواجدين معنا، شكرا لكل الناس اللي يتابعوننا في بيوتهم، وايضا شكرا لفريق الانتاج والمحللين والمعلقين المتواجدين معنا. يعطيكم الف عافية على دعمكم المتواصل، وشكرا لحضوركم معنا. لكن الان راح نروح على طول للاستوديو التحليلي نتكلم عن ايش صار في المباراة، كيف قدروا بي دي اس يفوزون المباراة هذه بعد ما شفنا اداء جدا مميز من فريق فالكونز. فخلونا نتكلم اكثر معاهم على طول على الاستوديو التحليلي.
I can't understand Arabic. I can understand a little bit of Arabic. And I think he was thanking all of their like sponsors and like the tournament organizers and all that kind of stuff. Someone correct me who understands Arabic probably much better than I do.
And so much money. I mean, honestly, so much. It's incredible how much has gone to this squad.
Because I heard him saying shukran, which means like thank you, and then I heard him like naming off like a bunch of sponsors and what sounded like people. So.
And ask him some questions as always. I'm just here to kind of keep the mood up. But I got Tristan, Twister, and Jack Thomas, Alan Jackson.
So I think he was thanking sponsors and like production crew and all that kind of stuff.
That's 4.
So, okay,
how many people?
cool.
7 people on the desk.
7 people. Jack Thomas, Alan, and Jackson are all here. Yes, that would be me. And do you know what? BDS were worthy victors. They didn't drop a map the entire series. The team that actually pushed them closest, Falcons in map 1 and 2.
I can understand a little bit. A little bit.
They played the minimum amount of maps possible to win a tournament.
Yeah.
Like, that's, what else can you say? That's how good they were.
It was very impressive because we saw BDS show the consistency that you need to win a tournament like that. You saw
I understand Arabic a little bit.
But you
not a lot, but enough where I knew what he was saying. I heard him thanking all the like sponsors, and it sounded like maybe some of the production staff or something.
just grabbing as much as they could to help his team to grab this trophy.
But
It was a whole
I
team
am
performance
I'm
from
Middle
start to
Eastern. I
finish.
understand a little bit.
There's nothing
Like
more
my
you can say.
parents could
All 5 of
speak
these
it
guys played great.
fluently.
I bet they're just so happy right now. Everything that they've had to go
Well, I'm
through,
Middle
and
Eastern. That's how I learned it. Like
Yeah.
I don't know everything. I
Themselves
can barely
immense.
speak at
I'm
all,
just so happy.
but
It'll
I
be
can like
happiness
understand
that's
if people are
twinged,
talking
like,
a little
there's
bit.
just a little bit of
A
sadness in
little
there
bit.
that they hadn't clicked about 2-3 weeks ago, you know, to push on to the major. Obviously, this event on its own, amazing, absolutely amazing for them. Obviously, you know, Elems was saying, you know, they feel like they're playing really good Siege right now, but they've got to look to the future now as well. I know I'm talking about, like, let them enjoy the moment, but this is the team, this is the BDS
What's up,
that
Victor?
is that formidable, and there'll be other teams watching this thinking, Christ, BDS are back.
Or more Allah, but yeah, pretty close in that situation.
Sorry, yeah.
It's okay, I can come in and correct for this one, but honestly, incredibly entertaining match that we ended up having in this grand final. I don't think we could have had a better final looking at the quality of competition, and what's impressive
Honestly,
is
it was
that
good
we
games
have
though overall.
teams
I really think
in
that Ubisoft needs to take a look at this
situation over
tournament
the
though,
years
and
that
see how Falcons
basically come out of
played,
nowhere, that either in Europe come out
and
of
consider
Challenger,
like, you know,
come out of
taking Mina more seriously. Can Meatloaf take the 60 months? How's the wife and grandkids? Oh man, wife is great. No grandkids, but thank you.
and then they make it to these finals.
And Mr. Shoddy, thank you for 26 months. Big Daddy George, thank you very much, Mr.
That's a
Shoddy.
hell of a showing. We all remember the history of Siege. We all know how it was. And a 3-0, yes, it's a good thing they got to the final map, and it didn't go to Max OT because I think we needed
And Mr. Potato, thank you for gifting 2 subs. One to Orcandid and the Black Widow. Welcome to both of you. Thank you very much, Mr. Potato, for gifting those subs.
The least embarrassing 3-0 defeat that they could have asked for. Like, there's no other way to put it. They can feel that they did so well, and the thing for me with Falcons now is I'm excited to see what's next. Because if we do have,
You could read Arabic fairly well. See, I can't read anything. I could, like, can't really speak very well. I could just kind of understand. Because, like, if my grandma, for example, is talking to me, so, like, it's also more, I talked about this yesterday, it's like, it makes it more complicated in that, like, so, like, so my family speaks Arabic, but they also speak Chaldean, which is like Aramaic pretty much. So they speak both, and they combine both of them when they speak. So it's like Chaldean and Arabic. So the words get like mixed in, but I can like understand when they're talking, like slightly, like enough to get by, where like I can respond to them in English.
I hope that in the future there will be more of it. But an incredible tournament
You know?
that we've had all through this week, and I think it's time for our final segment of today.
Payne definitely cannot read.
Our end of day, brought to you by VOV. And here's our bracket. Here's what it looked like.
But my parents primarily speak English. Like they'll speak like Arabic with like my like older relatives, pretty much.
3-0. BDS versus Falcons, but if you're just looking at the score here in the series, it doesn't tell you even half of the story. You have to go back and rewatch it because that was an incredible final, not gonna lie.
It was
Honestly, all the
even
games
a
were really
comeback in the
close.
middle of everything. It was a 3-0 that doesn't look like a 3-0 at all.
Yep.
We just saw BDS starting winning one map, just playing really good on defense on Villa, and when they come back to this Oregon as well, they just played really good on attack. Shaco just on the leadership of the scoring board just all the time and being so impactful for his team.
You mention a certain player here, and I'm wondering if they are or not. Who is the MVP of Gamers8, brought to you by Mastercard? Oh, it's Shaco! Who would have thought the best player to ever touch the game in Europe? I know, Pengu, I'm so sorry to say it. Honestly, at some point, it's gotta be said.
Oof.
There it is. Shaco, number one, runs away with $100,000. That's a lot. I mean, at this point, you know, MENA getting to grand final, BDS won their first trophy. What's next? What miracles can we expect? Rogue getting out of groups? Come on!
I know, it's amazing for Shaco, and it's nice that the first time we've ever had an individual award like this, it goes to him. And it's especially nice for him because after this tournament, it's going to be Spoit that wins it every single time. So it is nice that he's going to be able to get that before he ends his career.
Do you know what? He hit levels that I didn't think was possible for an individual player in this tournament, where to the extent that he's always the top frag for his team, no matter what happens, near enough, right? But the difference between him and not just the rest of his teammates, because Alem's had a good tournament, but he was just clearly the best player on the server in every single map that he played. You know, even in this one, 51 kills in that best of 3 in a 3-0 victory is absolutely sensational. I say a best of 3, best of 5 that went 3 maps. There won't be a player like him again, I don't think. Maybe Spite, I don't know.
That's a bit insulting to Spite, but I know what you mean.
Look at you. You react as if you're the one that's playing in his stead. Well, we'll never know.
I told him all he knows me.
Twister, your impressions on the tournament?
And we got the Shaiko as the man of the match. He got all the kills. He got an impressive number of entry kills as well. He was +7, and he got 2 plants as well. The man can do anything that he can. So I would just say very well deserved for him. We hear about Shaiko since the beginning of the game, so it's really impressive that he get this prize right now. Just I see as a reward for his career, and he's being crowned right now.
I'd say the same about you in your first ever time coming in on the analyst desk.
Yeah, I'll be playing later today.
Mr. Hey, I'm coach in Brazil. Here I am now on the analyst desk. In the meantime, honestly, what can they not
LFT, by the way, Milos.
LFT, yeah, he's looking for a team if you need a really good coach, by the way.
I know a team looking for a coach.
Okay, keeping that aside, let's take a look at what's going on next at Gamers8, because this is called here the Gamer Festival in Saudi Arabia, which means we started with Rocket League, Riyadh Masters, Dota 2, Fortnite the week before.
PUBG.
This week was all Rainbow Six, all through the end of it. Next 2 weeks will be the World Invitational for PUBG Mobile. So if you're kind of into that, then come on in and come back and watch and enjoy your time, because there's a lot of competition coming right at you here live on the stream. Since we're pretty much closing it out, gentlemen, I'll just leave it to your final words. Not the final words like forever, but like final words here. I'm just making it
maybe the final words for us.
PUBG Mobile is really big in Saudi Arabia. PUBG Mobile, believe it or not, is like one of the most popular games in the entire world. Like, it's not even...
An amazing tournament to be
like, I think they have like 1 billion downloads or something like that.
The final was amazing as well. We can't complain. How many times do we get to a final and we say that, wow, both teams were just really good? It was a final where there wasn't any throwing, there was no drama, anything. It was just amazing matches.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, PUBG, like, as a mobile alone has like 1 billion users or something. Let's see.
Plenty of storylines here, so I'm just really glad that I could be here, and just want to say thanks to all of you for having me here.
Thanks for joining.
I think for me, the quality of the siege, just, we had 4 teams in this tournament. 2 of them were unknown.
Well, Minecraft's number 1.
4 teams in this tournament playing with substitute players.
No, that's not it. In mobile.
The quality of the siege, for the most part, was absolutely incredible.
Actually, the most played game, literally of all time, is PUBG. 1.2 million accounts. Or sorry, 1.2 billion accounts. It is the single most popular game of all time.
I can cry now, but I think I'll have a good sleep tonight after all of this. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being here on the analyst desk all through the week. You've all done a fantastic job here, especially some of you for your first ever event, and your what?
What's on, Dab?
He's growing up. One day.
Oh, how old am I? I'm 31. I'm old as dirt.
Well, actually, no, you've been slim over the past 6 months, so you're
Not
growing
the past
up.
week, Milos. I've been eating a few of the chocolate bars. The hospitality's been very nice to me.
If you need any help, then one of our great sponsors who actually makes all of this happen, Dr. Sulaiman Habib, would like to say hello to you and everybody on the other side on the screen. Thank you so very much for watching Gamers8 with us here in Rainbow Six Edition through the week. We love you so very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Honestly, it was a really sick tournament overall. And thank you very much to Gamers8 for having me. And, allowing me to co-stream and sponsoring it as well. It's even better, so big thank you to them. And, yeah, if you guys want, they have PUBG Mobile coming up next couple of weekends, it looks like, so pretty sick. I should have competed. Well, it was like pro teams and stuff, and I'm not a pro. I'm just a content creator. Awesome. It was honestly a really good tournament, though. Honestly, only like closing like remarks, I guess, before we're dipping out and stuff. I really, really, really hope that Ubisoft takes like Mina more seriously. I really do. I hope that they give them a spot, at least one spot to make like LAN finals and stuff. I mean, if this tournament didn't prove it, I don't know what else does. I seriously think you could slot Falcons into like any region and they would place like decently. They'd be competitive at least, especially once they're playing in these events. Like, this is just a single event. Once they're playing in more events and stuff like that, building out the scene more, there's more, at stake and all that. All right, well, I think it's all over and stuff. So, thank you very much to them again for allowing me to co-stream and sponsor and all. And yeah, I guess I will see you guys later tonight. Congratulations to BDS. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just a little disappointed that that Falcons didn't win, but it's all good. So. Okay, I'll see you guys in about 5 hours. I'll be back, and we'll play some ranked and Malt. And thank you very much again to Gamers8. Congrats to BDS. Falcons and Mina in general should have some form of involvement, I think, at least in like Pro League and LAN finals, invitational, majors, etc. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, take it easy, everybody. See you guys in a few hours. Oh, all the socials. There they are, if you haven't followed. There's everything. Don't forget G Fuel's 30% off. We have a big $300 giveaway, X-Base Ring giveaway. And, yeah. Corsair, Elgato, and Origin PC. Check them out. I'll see you guys. Take it easy.